course, I'm taking action. As I speak, over a dozen individuals suspected of committing the crimes exposed by this audit report have just been arrested by the Malawi Police Service. So I want all of the thieves hiding in the civil service to mark my words. If the finger of evidence points to you as one of the thieves that stole COVID money for saving lives while hundreds of our people were dying of COVID, you are going to prison. On top of that, we will use the relevant laws to ensure that you pay back what you stole. Mubwezi, I have directed the Secretary to the President Cabinet, Mr. Zanga Chikosi, to interdict without pay those public officers on whose direct watch the financial mismanagement occurred. As for the Minister of Labor, who was named by the audit report as having spent COVID funds amounting to $613,000 on his allowances for a foreign trip, I have dropped him from my cabinet accordingly. Even though the minister has since returned the money, his usage of the funds means that the money was unavailable for its intended purpose when it was needed most. And I cannot have in my cabinet any individual who either spend money budgeted for one thing on something else or do not ask tough questions to ensure that the money they are spending on something was budgeted for that purpose. As far as I'm concerned, anyone who steals or wastes public funds is a traitor to this country. I pray that God's curse will rest on anyone who steals even one kwacha of the public funds that God has entrusted us to use in serving Malawi. Over a dozen individuals suspected of committing the crimes exposed by this audit report have just been arrested by the Malawi Police Service. So I want all of the thieves hiding in the civil service to mark my words. If the finger of evidence points to you as one of the thieves that stole COVID money for saving lives while hundreds of our people were dying of COVID, you are going to prison. On top of that, we will use the relevant laws to ensure that you pay back what you stole. Mubwezi, I have directed the Secretary to the President Cabinet, Mr. Zanga Chikosi, to interdict without pay those public officers on whose direct watch the financial mismanagement occurred. As for the Minister of Labor, who was named by the audit report as having spent COVID funds amounting to $613,000 on his allowances for a foreign trip, I have dropped him from my cabinet accordingly. Even though the minister has since returned the money, his usage of the funds means that the money was unavailable for its intended purpose when it was needed most. And I cannot have in my cabinet any individual who either spend money budgeted for one thing on something else or do not ask tough questions to ensure that the money they are spending on something was budgeted for that purpose. As far as I'm concerned, anyone who steals or wastes public funds is a traitor to this country. I pray that God's curse will rest on anyone who steals even one kwacha of the public funds.
You are saying that this person cannot perform. Yet you are saying he in our party nonsense. I've told If you vote party, the way you will suffer, me, I'll be here, I'll tell you, I will suffer with you. Nothing will make me suffer with you. I know too much that I can't suffer. But I can tell you, look, you know I'm a man of God. Try to make mistake. Neither will tumble to 5,000. If you don't want another to tumble to 5,000, better tell yourself what to do. It's a word to you when you vote people who have nothing in their head. If you vote party this time, Nigerians, we go fall our hand and watch on her. All the things they are suffering, am I suffering with you? I'm too connected by covenant to suffer what people are suffering. But if you vote, it's a word to you when your leader is like a child. That means any leader who will be using dampers is dangerous. It's a word to the whole land. When thy king is what? Child. It's the Bible, I'm not the one who said it. It's a word to the whole land. When thy king is a child. They use dampers for children. So if you have a leader who they use dampers, woe to you. And the priest is eating the... It's the Bible, am I the one that said it? Okay. I said you want to argue with the Bible.
I'm hearing that a governor in the south is spending 10 billion naira to build an ecumenical a place of worship for all Christians. Is it true? I hope it's not true. I read it on Facebook. That's why I'm throwing it to you now. A governor from South, I think it's Akwa Ibom State. Is there anybody from Akwa Ibom State here? Is it true? It's true. You also heard it. That your governor wants to spend 10 billion naira to build a worship center. And I'm sure in our hearts we'll be clapping for him. Hey, he's a Christian. How many industries have they built? What are you building another house for in a state where I'm sure you can't count the number of churches? The numbers are too big. God doesn't even know where to stay again. He's confused. You're building another one for what? Do you know how many agro-allied industries 10 billion naira can build? For a state where I'm sure it has among thousands of jobless youth. You will build the church, the jobless people will now come to the church and be praying, not knowing that their job is where they are standing on. Why can't we have sense? Or why can't they have sense? What is the meaning of all this? After that, they will tell us that your problem is from Abuja or it's one Fulani man in Aso Rock. Your biggest problem, geometric. In fact, if Abuja is a problem, Abuja's problem in your state is maybe arithmetic. You know what arithmetic is? 1 + 1 is equals to 2. It's simple. Our governors in the south, they are quadratic equation problem. They are. Trust me on this. Is it that when you build that house now, people will enter there and all their problems will be solved? We want to be industrialized. We want to be as prosperous as industrialized nations, but we are not building industries. We are building mega worship centers that are not necessary. And then we enter inside those mega worship centers and be praying to be like industrialized nations. Now, sense on I know get. I know they with her. I'm not there among them. Seriously. Nigerian Christians and religious people, including our politicians, they are like a man. God has blessed you with orange tree. No, not orange, mango tree. Mango tree that produces fine mango fruit. When the tree produces mango fruit, what do? You plug the one you can eat, you eat the ones you sell, Abby, and have money. But our mentality here is that we will cut the tree, saw it into wood, use it to build church. Then we enter inside the church and be praying, God give me mango. God give me mango. That's our mentality.
Samu Fatumino, and Sammy Samu Quade, they will nipa and their money and ma, Bawumia, no, the one Yakendra, Chamateno Moa, Eba Buame, and Che, Ghana, and even Ghana, the mother face of our country.
That is a matter that I will take in an appropriate way. But let me say it again. I know that people are making a lot of noise about this matter. But several of the people who are responsible for assisting me to steer the country out of the difficulties that we inherited and out of the difficulties that have subsequently come are still in place. And many of them, for me, have done an outstanding work. Their output has been considerable. And that's what I look at. There's an issue about reshuffle or the performance of ministers. It isn't as if it is something that every now and then my mind comes to. It's a daily preoccupation for me. I'm required on a daily basis to ask myself whether the output of particular ministers is up to the mark. I am the final authority, and if they're not up to the mark, I'm required to act. But if the output measures the expectations, then I don't have any strong reasons to heed the call. The calls come from all kinds of reasons. NDC wanting to destabilize your government is one. There are people who are also looking for jobs. I'm not disputing that there is quite a lot of attention on it. But I also think it is important for us to have a really holistic look at this matter and be certain of what we're doing. But as I say, it's not no responsible leader, president, prime minister will announce, I intend to reshuffle my no. If you're going to do it, you do it.
Cause of doomsday, and doomsday has been caused by the financial and economic mismanagement of this government, and so we shouldn't be giving them credit for solving a problem that they have solved.
Today we are gradually creeping into a situation that if I don't draw the nation's attention, I will not have been doing my diligent duty to the good people of Ghana. This country is most likely to face load shedding in the next 2 years if urgent steps are not taken from this moment to increase our power generation. I say this on the basis of facts. For example, on the 15th of February 2022, our peak power demand was 3,343 megawatts. On the 15th of February, just about a month and a half ago. That was the highest peak demand for power. On that day, our available power was 3,527 megawatts. We had a surplus of only 180 megawatts. Only 180 megawatts. So we were dangerously close to matching peak demand with total available supply. Remembering that the demand for power consumption, demand increases between 7% and 15% every year, year on year. And it takes a minimum of 3 years to bring on stream a new thermal plant. We seem to be sleepwalking into a situation of possible power outages as a result of supply limitations. I believe I have a responsibility to draw this country's attention to the danger we're facing.
The government, of course, has already cut and abolished teacher training allowances. and nursing training allowances. The president said even if it was going to cost him the election, he wasn't going to restore them. Didn't he say it? But today, with just 2 months to the election, feeling defeat staring him in the face, he is trying to make an about turn and say that he wants to restore the allowances. Do you believe him? Do you believe him? We have to treat that promise with the contempt that it deserves. It is a propaganda promise. It is a 419 promise. If you vote for him, he will cancel it in 2017. We cannot trust him and his word on this issue. You can only trust Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Of course, the NDC and President Mahama are going about saying that these reductions in taxes that we are going to implement as part of our comprehensive program of economic reform, they are going around saying that our manifesto promises are going to ruin the economy. I'm just so baffled. You, a president, you have presided in 8 years over the collapse of our economy. If you knew the plan that could work for the economy and be successful, why haven't you implemented that plan in 8 years? Why? If you know what can work for our economy, why is the economy collapsing in your hands after 8 years? You clearly do not understand the economic plans and underpinning the MPP manifesto. So your task is to make our economy work. You cannot do it, and now you want to say the MPP plan cannot work. You have essentially no legs to stand on in saying the MPP plan cannot work, because your own plan has collapsed the economy, and we are bringing a new plan for the economy, and a new plan that will work. It will work. We reduced taxes during our tenure of office. Corporate taxes were brought down from 32% to 25%. And at the same time, we saw a major increase in tax revenue. So it makes economic sense. And we are going to focus on production. And we will not be distracted by the president and his comments on our manifesto. He should focus on fixing this collapsing economy.
Nana Akufo-Addo has made it very clear that his government is going to build a globally competitive economy. We have not really been thinking global, and this is what we need to do. That we have to understand that we are in competition with other countries, and investment moves from country to country, and we have to think global. And so, the Nana Akufo-Addo policy, which he stated, is just basically to build the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly economy in Africa. This is the goal that we are going to try to do, the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly. The tax issue is a major issue, because if you are so fixated on revenue, you will essentially end up hurting your production. And so if you go back into history, you study the economic history of United States, Germany, England, all of them have used the tax policy to encourage production. And this is why we are saying that, today you have a situation in Ghana, unbelievable situation, when businesses are out on strike. Businesses who should be selling are out on strike. Why are they out on strike? Because they've been overburdened by taxes. And if you don't take care, you'll be chasing the tax revenue and killing businesses. And when you kill businesses, it means you are causing unemployment. And so if you go back, this is why Nana Akufo-Addo is saying, we need to mobilize financial resources. So why are you going to be imposing VAT on financial services? It doesn't make sense in a country which has got a very large unbanked population and we want people to bank. We will abolish that, he says. We will abolish import duty on all raw materials because that has been a policy that will help production. Let the businesses produce. Let them make profit. And when they make profit and employ people, we will get income taxes and we will get corporate taxes. So you don't go ahead to kill the business. No, let them bring in the raw materials. Let them produce. Then you will tax, at the end of the day. And I think that you have a government where you have cutlasses being taxed, condoms being taxed, and even savings. There was a 1% imposition on savings, which was later withdrawn.
On investments,
yes.
On
investments, which was later. I mean, even to think about it it's been
suspended.
It's been suspended. I mean, but even to think about it.
Oh, it's now abolished, is it?
Okay, good. Yeah, but even to think about it, it just questions who are making these policies. I mean,
isn't it just another way?
Another way of raising revenue.
Well, yes,
but when you become desperate, this is what happens, that when you've mismanaged the economy into this hole, then anything sounds great to you because you don't have any option.
Member for Tamale North, Honorable Suhini.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirty, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Tuesday, the 23rd day of April 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear republic. I'll let you into a part. our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Financing electricity and water extension. Consumers can claim refund. PURC. Former PPA CEO pleads not guilty to fresh charges. North records high free SHS enrollment. Education Minister. SETAC gives government May 31 to implement NLC awards. The Ghanaian Times. World Bank / IMF spring meetings in Washington, D.C. Ghana's economy gains momentum towards stability. Finance Minister. VIP outlines education policy proposal to CHAS. Man, 50, impregnates 14-year-old JHS student. Victim sacked from school. F Alpha and Omega Hospital opens. Registers 10,000 patients with NHIS. Daily Guide. Interpol arrest warrants for jailed ex-Maslog boss. 2 nabbed over U.S. national murder. Bawumia shares education vision with CHAS. Ex-PPA boss discharged. Rearranged. 6,000 abandoned Alliance movement. The New Crusading Guide. CHAS embraces Bawumia's vision for education. Demolition of 10 houses at Jiringano. Owners set record straight. Tema NPP executives condemn Navy over killings. Ghana's economy set for full recovery. IMF mission chief. Truck driver jailed 6 months in train crash case. Gomwa Sen Omahene rallies chiefs for peaceful election. The Daily Statesman. I will elevate quality of education. Bawumia outlines education and innovation to CHAS. West over for Ghana's economy, says IMF chief. Ghana to invest $60 million in cashew sector. NPA boss, CRM to bring LPG closer to consumers. The New Finder. Cedi to bounce back to 12.25 to $1 by end of year. Fitch Solutions. Dr. Bawumia outlines education policy proposal to CHAS. Walk the talk on tax reforms. Harry Yamson. International buyers not paying $10,000 for cocoa. Asanvo. Daily Post. Next NDC government will prioritize basic level education. John Mahama. Edouard Poma and Amwa. No little of it is liquid fertilizer. Cocoa board RMNE. Director tells court. NPP trying to bribe us, but we will not trade our integrity on the altar of corruption and incompetence. Alliance supporters. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
All day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch it spread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's creamy. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread.
Fortune Spread. Delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Yeah, then Jama was in part of Fufona. What in Rahua, a woman Yinkaya Srono Eddie.
A sham. A mountain sound shisho. And a epu a grown sweet. A yink kayan kasa.
Oh, I still to be.
The Jamal washing powder for furnace sachets I can see in Numaba. A yink kayan kasa.
Animal.
For Jamal washing powder, but 30. Can you mount the Bejawari?
Hey,
New Jamal washing powder. A mania meniti. Nemusi sham. Uhukafu a or ma wonta dieniti. FD aje a dreading crato yatumu.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Fortune Rice. It's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe. Emu no nkikamu. Na ne hwam ne ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mom etie no pepepe. Ye the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi nkratoa yatum.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a Missy Way.
Prepare bantama.
Machasi. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me Gidi say we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Ile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Welcome to ETCOM.
Papa is walking.
Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son with beer. Nanso, yare timi sapa dom yare.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have the Member of Parliament for the Yape Kusogu constituency, who's also the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament. He's also a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, the Honorable John Abdullahi Jinapo. JJ, good morning.
Good morning.
Right. Also with me on the show this morning, I guess it will be his first time on Good Morning Ghana.
My first time with you hosting. Okay. I've been when the other guy hosted some time ago.
Okay. That should be Akwesi.
Yes.
All right, okay. So he's here. I haven't seen him in a while. Okay. But he's an energy analyst and he's also the chairman of the NPP, Manifesto Committee on Energy. So in fact, what I'm having today are the two chairs of the Energy Manifesto Committees of both the NPP and the NDC. So Kojo Safwa-Poku, who had the ambition of becoming president by leading the NPP, he's here with me on the show. Kojo, good morning.
Hi, morning. Nice seeing you.
Yes.
Like I said, I was trying too hard to be your friend, so now I don't text you anymore.
How are you, Mr. President?
I'm very well. It's going well. Good exercise, good exposure.
Okay.
You know, my uncle told me that, look, Kojo, whatever you're doing, for nothing at all, you get to go around the country to meet the people that one day you want to lead. So it was a good experience.
We'll come back to that shortly. But let me just do this quickly. If you're looking for a toothpaste that will take care of the entire family and also save you some money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs, especially when not exercising, could be challenging irrespective of your age, but worry no more, because lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It is affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakuman or just call them on 0200 535 515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movement. All right. So, Kojo, let me start off with you. I mean, for those who probably don't know you, they don't know who Kojo in Safwa-Poku is. I know you, but people don't know you. Just briefly tell us, who's Kojo? How did Kojo become an energy analyst, and where did the presidential dream come from?
Well, look, the energy analyst thing was just the virtue of, I think, in 2007 when we first found oil. Mm-hmm. I had a company called Gas Up Oil. You know, I have doing the upstream since 2001. You know, we've been trying to get a block upstream. So when we found first oil, we did a seminar in Alisa Hotel, and when the media gathered, they realized that there's this Ghanaian who seemed to understand some of these things well, because most of the people gathered were experts, you know. And the media started interviewing me. You know, the guy who, Johnny's Bites, Johnny, he was at Prada, it was at Prada Radio on the Spintex, and he did that interview, and from there, they started inviting me to the station, and a lot of media people will now call me, oh, could you this oil find, is it a curse, is it a good thing for Ghana, Norwegian disease, what was that thing? So we're explaining the terminologies to the media to help people understand how the new oil find will help Ghana. Then we went into, I think, 2010, 2011 in that space. Then the light problem started around 2012, 2013. and we will go on Aisha TV, or not TV3, Joy News, and they will call me too. So that's how it started. And the media now christened me Kojo Poku, the energy expert.
Okay.
You know, but in terms of who Kojo Poku is, I'm just a businessman. I've been doing my own business for the last 23 years in Ghana. True and true businessman. Have sit on a few boards in Nigeria and in Ghana. But the presidential thing, I have nurtured it for a while. You know, I was basically adopted by my godmother, Hawa Yakubu. So when I came to Ghana in 98, I lived in Hawa's house. And may her soul rest in peace. I basically learned a lot in the politics. And I have always bided my time and said, look, at the right time, I'll see what it would be like to be able to try and lead. And I thought the time was right to do it 2 years ago when I started announcing that I would do this. And I gave it a shot. And I think it was worth doing.
All right, okay. So we'll get on with the show. As for you, we know who you are. So,
but he's also aspiring to be president one day.
Yeah, we know.
He's also aspiring to be president one day.
You must have my Bob no wrong. I beg you. I beg you. Where I am. Let me see you there.
So why?
I haven't reached there yet.
What did Dr. Bawumia tell you when he chose you as the chairman of the Manifesto Committee on Energy? Okay. I'm assuming that he chose you.
Yes. Basically, you know, me and Doctor have had, you know, we ran in the 10, we did super delegate. I came out, I didn't make the 5, but I endorsed him. And, you know, we have known each other from far. But our first face-to-face meeting was that famous picture that me and him took, and I endorsed him to win the November 4th. But after that, I mean, I started giving him a brief on the energy space, what it is, where we need to get to, where the problem is, and what all the things. Me, yes, he says advice, sits with all the information, but maybe what I know, he's not getting the full brief. So me and him started having some of these conversations in the energy sector. And with the energy that he felt like, okay, one, we've always done manifestos where it's too much English. Practicality and solution is what we need. And from the conversations I was having with him, he felt that coming from the business background where in the upstream, I have partaked, I've done work there, not just knowing by theory, I've actually worked in that space. Civil society, we have always criticized manifestos. We've always criticized government from the civil society space. So he felt that, look, since you are always criticizing these manifestos, why don't you, with all the practical experience, now chair this manifesto so that at least what you come up with would have been something breathtaking. And I think it was an honor it's still an honor to be the chairman of the committee.
Okay. So now, apart from the general economy of this country, I'm sure that the next or the subsector of the economy, which is very chaotic at the moment, very problematic, and I think we've gone beyond challenges.
Yes.
Is the energy sector.
Yes.
All the issues around the energy sector. From where you sit, how would you describe the energy situation in Ghana? And how come it appears that we are caught in 6s and 7s? It appears that we don't have a grip on what to do, whether it is electricity, the provision of electricity and all that, whether it is about fuel, whether it is about a refinery, whether it is about whatever. The last part is that you had Gridco and ECG even trading accusations and counter accusations. I don't know anywhere on this globe where you can find that happening, and everybody looks on, pardon my French, sheepishly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perturbed.
Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't say that we don't have a grip, but there's a grip, but I would still call it challenges. I don't think we've gone past challenges. We are not at that slippery slope where it's not recoverable. So it's still challenges. And the challenges are being looked at. It's a lot of moving parts. I have always said in the past that when we decided to move heavily into thermal, when we decided to now no longer do Akosombo because our generation has our demand has overwhelmed Akosombo, and thermal came in. I said, look, we are going into an uncharted territory, mainly because we are going to have a lot of moving parts. In the past, when you don't have power, Akosombo Kanya, you go and pray on the Akosombo to make sure that water comes in and will basically get the generation up. Now it's not like that anymore. Akosombo barely does about 40% of our generation. Thermal is doing about 73-75% now. And these thermals, there are about 12 of them, quite a number. So everybody comes in with his own challenges. So it's become a sector that is the most important sector, because the upstream, when you don't have gas, the crude oil challenges, downstream, petrol prices go up, everybody else. Then the power sector with all the challenges you've mentioned, coupled with the value chain being inadequate. So there is a shortfall in the value chain due to poor regulation.
Explain that.
Okay, so the value chain in the power sector is before, you only need water to run Akosombo. Now, somebody has to give you the gas. The gas has to go through a company, maybe Ghana Gas, ENI, or NGAS. Then you now have to take that gas through the West African gas pipeline, if it's a reverse flow, and you have to pay. So there are many players in the chain. Then GMPC is the one who owns the commodity. He needs to get money for his molecules that he has sold you. Then it goes to the generator. Now, we no longer only have Akosombo, VRA. We had other independent power producers, the Asoglage, SemPower, and all these companies. And they use the gas to generate power. They sell it to you, and they want value for money, like for like. I give you 10,000 cedis, you pay me back 10,000 cedis. It goes through transmission, Gridco, then goes to distribution, ECG, then to you and I, the customer. But the problem is that because of the lack of investment over the years in this sector, in terms of transmission and distribution, we are having like 4 to 5% losses on the transmission line. We're having about 29 to about 30, maybe 31% losses on the generation line. The distribution line, ECG. So when you send 10 cedis or 1,000 cedis into the market, what you really get back is about 700 cedis. So every time the Gencos basically do 1,000 cedis of power, we get back only 700 cedis. But PULC factors about 23% into our tariffs, okay, and the rest is lost. So there isn't like for like. Odi two could just well half never. That's the problem, and that over the period has caused what we are all called the energy sector indebtedness.
So let me ask you this.
Okay,
this 20-something% you attribute to ECG, has that been the case all this while?
Yes, all the time.
You talk about 29%.
29%. It's been like that ever since, because of the lack of investment in the
29%.
29%.
It's been consistent.
Consistent.
Over the last how many years?
Oh, as far as I have been in the sector, knowing the distribution losses in the sector, because bear in mind there are two. When you say losses,
yes,
right? There is technical losses and financial losses. The financial losses. The financial losses is about 19%. Technical losses is 10%. So the two is at 29%.
So just hold on. Do we attribute the financial losses also to a lack of investment?
Yes, in a way.
Why?
Because you see, for you to be able to get proper recoveries in your discos, in your distribution system, you need to invest in the retailing. Because it's retailing. It's really distribution. What ECG does, they do distribution and retailing. Because they distribute it and retail it, customer service, and to collect the money. So if you don't invest in the right digitization platform to be able to collect your money and account for it. Me and my brother had a discussion on Joy some time ago when the news first broke that some people in the IT department of ECG were practically stealing from the company. Okay, and he didn't believe me. Later, I'm sure he has gotten the brief. They were practically stealing from ECG based on the existing.
How were they stealing?
Okay, so the token that they generate for you to buy the prepaid, one person sits there and generates the token. One person on his laptop. So what you buy as prepaid credit is a token that is generated on somebody's laptop, and he sends it across to all the districts and all, not knowing they were running a parallel system. So they have people who were not ECG accredited merchants who were being sent tokens to sell credits, and the money was going to other accounts. Yes, it's a fact. It's a fact. No, but these are facts. These are things that it is with the national security, and these guys have left ECG. You know, it's a fact. These are not.
Are they being prosecuted?
Yes. The case is with either with Yoko, or that is when you heard that there was a bit where the guys went and put virus on ECGs. You heard that story.
We hear a lot of stories.
No, but I'm just telling you that's what it is. I mean, I Kojupoku don't lie. And my brother, who sits as a ranking member of parliament, also knew exactly what I'm saying. It's a fact that ECG had people who sit there and were stealing from the company through the token system, where when ECG did an audit, okay, there were customers they found who were not registered as ECG merchants selling ECG credit, but were not on ECG's list of merchants that pay money to ECG. So one person was sitting there in front of his computer and sending. When the national security went in there to try and get the data to be able to see how long has this been going for, to what extent has this problem happened, guess what? The guy, they now introduced a virus onto the entire servers. So all the companies who have put their servers in the ECG server room were all encrypted. They have to go and reboot it. There was a big problem where people couldn't load. They did it again. Then they had put tracker on it because at that time national security was working. The guy went back again to try and disrupt it, and he was apprehended. That's a fact.
So where is this guy?
Go and ask the national security. He's there. But it's a fact. Look, my brother, let's not sit here and conjecture.
Let's move on.
So let's move on. Yes. This is a fact. These are things anybody can check.
Let's go.
So the issue is that's what I'm saying. The investment to go into these things, for a long time, ECG was only doing a certain amount of a month. It's not possible. You cannot say that every month ECG gets 400 million cedis. There should be fluctuations. Now, ECG's collection has increased, be it that the tariffs has also increased. But in large, where I'm saying that you need investment to go into to do the financial as well, because you need to basically input money to basically streamline the retail end of the market. Then the technical, which is the technical losses, which is dissipation of electricity on the, on the lines. So clearly that is where we are in terms of the sector. But it is enlarged the indebtedness that has been in the sector over the years. And this indebtedness is only because what you send to the market is not what you get back. And that is the basic challenge of the power sector. And when my brothers and co says that, oh, it's financial, it's financial, it's financial. You remember when Honorable Janapo was deputy minister, the MPP at the time was saying that, oh, the doomsday at the time was financial. And they would say, no, it's not. Is this, is this, is this. And I have my brother on a certain date giving an interview on Joy saying that, oh, it's multiplicity of factors, low in Akusumbo, the dam, water in the dams are low, no fuel to supply, and it's technical issues and all that. But the MPP in opposition at the time insisted that it was financial. I Kujopuku, who was a member of the civil society then, said that it's not financial, it's technical. I sided with my brother on various multiple platforms and said that it's not financial because at that point you have to now have the capacity installed. When you have the capacity installed, it comes with its own challenges. And at every point in time, because you have moving parts, okay, you would have challenges. And those challenges are technical. And that is why we had the challenges that we had between that 2013 to 2016. It wasn't financial. And I keep saying it.
Yeah, but Kojo, the profile of our problems between 2013 and 2016 and today are obviously not the same.
100%.
So that if, for example, you had a generation deficit and you needed to ramp up your generation capacity, obviously that is technical. Yes. But if you are at a point where you do not have a generation deficit, and so the plants are there, but the issue is about how to power these plants with fuel, then obviously the challenge cannot be technical.
In most parts, it's here and there. And let me tell you why. Having the generation there is assuming that none of those generations have problems, right?
Yes.
So you have generations which are installed capacity.
Yes.
But at any point in time, there are maintenances.
True.
And these machines goes into maintenance. Some come back, some don't come back. Some need prolonged time to make. So that's technical. Then as you are moving, some of the system, some of the companies will call you and say, look, I have a problem. Last week, Gensa had a problem. And Gensa is a big plant, and right now Gensa can only give us a certain number of power. But we have the installed as Gensa, but they have a problem.
Is Gensa not the one for the mines?
Sempower. Sempower. So thanks for the correction. Sempower had a problem, right? Sempower has an installed capacity, But they had a challenge last week, and now they can only give us limited supply. Okay, so you have, like I said, you have moving parts, and this moving part gives you a variety of problems. Ghana Gas gives us gas, right? Last week, Ghana Gas was tripped and was off for 16 hours, and as a result, no gas was coming from Ghana Gas because their system tripped, their valves and their point tripped. So there are multiple problems in the system. So that's the financial. You know what I'm saying? The following day, when they fixed the 16-hour problem, the following day they were off for 6 hours. But all these contribute to people's life going on.
But these things are random.
Yeah, no, the random. That's what I'm saying. But they're technical.
You don't get a point.
I agree. But
I'm saying that we always live with a certain level of power outages or power unavailability.
Yes, but when
it becomes consistent.
No, I agree. But we are separating the issue.
Yeah,
I am not justifying the light outages going on around the country in the last week or two or month. Okay, I'm trying to explain to you that the reason people keep saying it's financial, and I disagree. The same time I disagreed with it when it was said on the NDC when they were in power, is that the technical nature of the system is such that you can have all the money, but when the valve at Ghana Gas decide to shut down, it's not about money. And if 100 mm scarf of power, 100 mm scarf of gas is not available.
But for how long? For how long?
16 hours. I'm giving you an 16 hours. So after 16 hours, they came back the following day, and for those 16 hours, another 6 hours they went off. But that is uncomfortable for people in 2 days. But the problem is that's why I keep saying, you might have solved one problem. You go to a following day. Then the other problem comes in. So they are multifaceted. In my brother's words, multiplicity of what? Of problems. Okay. So the point is, you are moving from one frying pan to fire. That is what I'm trying to explain. That it is a sector which now has a lot of moving parts. The challenges now are, like I said, multifaceted.
So how come proud to, let's say 6 months ago or a year ago, we weren't having these issues?
Yes. Okay, so these moving parts have always been there. You remember that's how my brother Napo came out with Doom CCA. You remember when
he said that
Doom CCA? You remember when he told us? CCA?
No, I remember.
When did he say Doom CCA?
Oh, I think it was once in 2021 or so.
No, 2023. So 2022.
Yes.
When he came out with Doom CCA.
Yes.
So that time we had challenges.
No, but the point just hold on a bit. Unless you are telling us something that's...
but I'm telling you that the reason that whole Doom CCA thing came up was that there was a point in 2022 when lights were rampant.
Yes.
And it made the minister come out and say, oh, this is not Doom, so it's Doom CCA. Yes. You remember?
No, but the point I'm trying to make to you is that what the minister told us was that they were doing what he calls a routine maintenance on their transmission lines and all those things.
Yes, but that time...
Just to make the thing, the supply of electricity...
More efficient.
That's what he told us.
Yes, but that time, what I'm trying to point out is that there were rampant outages.
And even with that one, they gave us a timetable, yes.
Well, there were rampant outages around that time. You understand? So I'm saying that at any point in time, we've never had a perfect system in the last 8-12 years.
I'm sure nobody's asking for anything perfect.
But I am agreeing that we are in uncharted territory now where there are challenges. But when you now make it look like these technical issues have never existed, they've always existed. How it is managed. And let me make a point. You know, as a country, we grow at about 250 megawatts every year. And this year, from 2017, if you just take 2017 till now, we've grown about 1,750. 1,750 growth.
Okay.
New demand.
Okay.
Right? 250 a year times 7. Okay. 1,750. So what you had in this system, you need a spin reserve to run. So as your generation is growing, not only should you keep an eye on your generation, you should keep an eye on your fuel. Because like I said in the beginning, we are no longer using Akosombo water. We are also using gas. So you need to grow the gas infrastructure. And that is not something that is easily done as compared to the installed capacity that you have. So the policy...
When you say it's not easily done, how do you mean?
To build a gas infrastructure is not an overnight thing.
No overnight, but 7 years is not overnight.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. that we didn't have that problem 7 years ago. 7 years ago, you had not grown by 1,750.
Yes.
I'm saying that, yes, you can point and put a question mark on planning.
Yeah, because it's a no-brainer.
No, but that's the conversation.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
No, it is a brainer. Don't call it a no-brainer.
No, it is a no-brainer.
It is. No, it is, because let me tell you why it's a brainer. You remember when there was this issue of we are going to tender. We are no longer going to do single source IPP. We are going to tender for more power. Kojo came and said it can't work. The reason it can't work is that you always need to single source, because by the time the problem, you know the problem, it catches up with you. Because in large, we know, like because I sit in the civil society space, I police the sector. So I know what's going on. The ministry people knows, because if you read all the Energy Commission documents, they tell you. But the point I'm saying that is a brainer. No, it's a brainer, because policymakers, and he says as a ranking member, right, he will tell you, the policy making and you sitting there and looking at it, it's not the same. So if you leave the businessmen, right, to now come and do the business, that is where we now end up with the overcapacity when we talk of 2017 overcapacity. Because businessmen will always want to come in, want guarantee, want this to build. But as a government, you also need to balance certain things to with what the businessman wants to do. That is where I'm saying that it's a brainer, because by the time, the problem, which is the 1,750 capacity growth, has catch up with you, you now know that.
But why should you let it catch up with you when you have your own agency and projections? And like you said, it's not new. The issue of 250 megawatts increment every year is not news.
Okay, so can I ask a question?
Just hold on a minute. Okay. The document is available to you.
Yes.
The Energy Commission is an agency under the Ministry of Energy.
Yes.
Anybody. When I say it's a no-brainer, anybody in that space has that document, that projection.
Yes.
And so you know that if I don't do A, B, C, D, this is what is going to happen to me.
Yes.
So if you do not do it and it happens to you.
Yes. No, but it's not doing it. You see what I'm saying? Government doing something. Who does it? Government has to put policy in place, create an enabling environment for private sector to do it. Right? It's the same thing I was gonna talk about. You're saying that it's a no-brainer. But we sat in this country and we now got to a point where we didn't have enough installed capacity in the country.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because we didn't do what we should have done.
No, it's not necessarily all the case, because at that time, let me give you an example. PPAs have started being signed from 2012, 2013. Even before 2011, even before John Dramani came in 2012, when my brother became deputy minister, there had been PPAs that have been signed. And those PPAs, some of them that have been signed up to today, still have not gotten into financial, have not gotten into operations. Okay. So you, the government, can put the process in place. As we speak now, there is a company that's supposed to build a second train, Ghana Gas. Second train to increase the capacity of gas.
Even another gas plant.
No, so the gas plant has a limitation. It can take up to about 130 mm SCAF. They need to expand it.
So like a phase 2?
Like a phase 2, yes. Okay. All the bits have been done, right? But then you need to go to financial closure, get guarantees and all that. And that's been going on for 3 years. So when these commercial terms and all these things happen, that's what I'm saying, it's a brainer. If you say it's a no-brainer, it's like you can just clap your hand and these things happen. It's easy for my brother to sit and shake his head. But the same problem he faced when he was in government. You see, government doesn't work like private sector.
Why?
Government has constraints. Government has constraints with the guarantees they have to put in place for private sector to work. Government has constraints. So when you say that,
what are those? What's constraining about?
What's constraining? No, but hold on. What I'm saying to you is that when the Atamils government sat, you remember the light outages didn't start with Atamils. It ended around 2008 in President Kufuor's time. So by the time Atamils came in 2009, there was only a blueprint to basically expand our capacity, because President Kufuor did a short-term measure by bringing in the 1 megawatt plant. You remember?
That was just a
yes, I agree. But what I'm saying is that in going forward, there was a blueprint for the NDC to follow. They tried, they followed. It's not that they didn't. They not that they didn't do anything. But the PPAs that they signed, the Atamils government signed, they don't materialize, because the people they signed a PPA with has to go into the financial market, get financial closure to come and build. So that is that delay in trying to put those measures, which Atame's government has done, is what led to us going into the light problems in 2012 upwards. So what I'm saying is that if you say it's a no-brainer, makes it look like somebody sits there, read the report, and does nothing about it. What I'm saying is that government do something about it. Again, we know that we need more gas. The more gas we need is for what? Is to make sure that we get more gas supply for our system. We knew that it's going to get to 2013, 2014, you need more gas. You put a process in place. Ask Ghana Gas. Contracts have been signed, MOUs have been signed and all that for the contractors to start work. Nothing. Because the contractors have to go into the financial market to get the necessary finances and the financial closure to start the work. So it's not that nothing has been done. So when you say that government have sat there and the problem has come to hit him, it's not true. Because government has done its bit, but it is not as simple as that.
All right. Okay, let's bring JJ in and then we'll come back. There are a lot more angles to look at.
Andy,
yes, JJ.
I'm sitting there and I'm so confused and shocked.
Why?
At my friend's analysis.
Why?
It doesn't hold water.
Explain.
First of all, Nana, gas is not the only source of fuel.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
But is it the cheapest?
Gas could be cheaper, and I'll give you the statistics here. But I'm saying that when you say, gas infrastructure, as if gas is the only option. Most of the plants are dual fuel.
Okay.
KTPP can use distillate fuel. AXA can use heavy fuel oil. And it's not as if they've not been using these fuels. So don't make it look as if we've been depending on gas solely throughout the period. Some of the plants have been firing on distillate fuel. Some have been firing on HFO. The truth is that you don't have the money to buy that fuel today. The economy is so broke that the Ministry of Finance can no longer procure heavy fuel oil. It's not a matter of gas alone. Then by your analysis, it will take us 2 years before we resolve this problem. Because to construct a gas plant and commission it, minimum 2 years. So this doesn't come in at all. You see, it is true, you could have some setbacks. But honesty is the key issue here. This government and its communicators have been extremely dishonest to the people of Ghana. When this thing started, the first excuse they gave us was that transformers were overloaded. Is that not true? Is that not what they told us? Then Grico wrote a letter, official letter to the minister, that it is not about transformers being overloaded and that there's a deficit in generation and that they communicate on a daily basis to ECG to take some people off. Sometimes ECG refuses. So they are compelled to take off the bulk supply point like Malam, Pokwase, and the rest. Other than that, there will be a system collapse.
Those ones are under their control.
Yes, because that's the bigger one. And Malam was done through President Mahama. 47 million. Pokwase, through President Mahama. About 50 million from the Millennium Challenge Corporation account to bolster the system and make it more resilient. So if we ask you to put individual ones and you can't put it off, we put the main one off and take off a chunk of Greater Accra. That happened. Then the PURC directed ECG to comply with their directives. That was not adhered to. So eventually the Mines and Energy Committee summoned all of them to Alisa. Here, on a Saturday, all of them. He said, look, government should have done this. Government is not doing it. Prior to that, the minister had told us that if we feel we need a timetable for doing so, we should go and prepare our own timetable. Look, this is the chronology of events. When they appeared before the committee, and I have the PURC report here, PURC made a full presentation to us. Daily, the deficits. Gridco made a presentation. After that, Energy Commission made a presentation. ECG itself made a presentation. The ministry made a presentation. All of us came to the conclusion that the problem is fuel. And it's in our report. All of us, we concluded that there is not a matter of transformers. Those transformers were just about 1%. 1% of their 33,000 transformers. So it was negligible, and PURC even disputed. They claimed that they were overloaded. They said, even if they're overloaded, what is the cause of the problem? If ECG's transformers, all of them are available today and they are not loaded, there will be load shedding. That is a fact. And you see, facts are facts. You can have your opinion about why doing so, okay, but as for the facts, they are sacrosanct. Today, as we speak, this night, they will shed or they will engage in load shedding of 500 megawatts. That's the deficit.
Why?
The plants are available. You see, we can have install capacity, and I was surprised Kojo was. So at time you had install capacity, but Akosombo went so dry. What can you do? Even if you bring the fuel, you can't do anything. So you needed to ramp up generation. It's true, sometimes there are some delays. I wouldn't fault that, and that can affect you. But that is not the situation currently. The plants are available. We have installed capacity of about 5,500 megawatts.
Yes,
peak demand is 3,600 megawatts. So we have redundancy.
So what it means,
that is one.
What it means is that if even 700, 800 megawatts were out of the system on the basis
you still have enough capacity.
Yeah, on the basis of maintenance or all those things, we should still be fine.
We should still be fine. That's why you look at available capacity. Because it's available. You can have installed capacity of the 5,000, but like he said, SunPower may be down 450, another, let's even take 1,000 is down. You still have 4,500 available capacity. The Akosombo Dam is full.
To meet your peak of
To meet your peak. Something. All you need is fuel. And that is a fact. All we need today is fuel. And that fuel is not just about gas. Because gas is a medium to long-term issue. What we need today is to procure heavy fuel oil
so explain,
and distillate fuel.
JJ, explain something for me. If we're saying that we have installed capacity of about 5,500 and our peak demand is about 3,750, let's even say 4,000. Let's even say 4,000. It means that we have redundancy of about 1,500.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if 500 is not available out of this 1,500, why must we have done so?
We must not.
So why?
Must not.
So
and
why?
Because they don't have money to procure the fuel. Simple. Look, simplicity. If government is able to procure the fuel today, load shedding is over. It's a financial issue. It has nothing to do with technical issue. Technical issue is when the plants are down. So even if you have money, immediately you can't resolve it. Because energy sector projects are capital intensive. They have a long gestation period. They take a long time. But in this case, the plants are ready. And we invited the IPPs. Look, we invited all this is unofficial record. It was recorded. I even insisted that they should swear an oath. So that if anybody lies, that person can be taken to court. But they admitted that, look, they'll be honest. And in fact, they were honest. This is recorded, not just written. It's recorded. And it came to light that the problem is fuel. Now, if this government doesn't even accept that the problem is fuel, how can they solve it? If they engage in this deliberate deceptive
but why
politics.
will no, Jay? You are not in government, but I just want to understand something. Look, we all understand that this country, we declared bankruptcy. We've gone to the IMF. We have a DDEP program. We are still negotiating with people we owe. We have not sorted things out. We've given rude haircuts to our people. We all know where we find ourselves. So if we have every day there is somebody government owes, whether they are caterers, they are uniform suppliers. Yes, every day we hear people who government owe, whether they are agricultural sellers or whatever, all asking for their money. So if indeed the issue is that we have some problems with purchasing fuel, and so we are going to have problems, what is the big deal?
He's here.
What's the big deal?
What is look, and that committee, Randy, they admitted, look, they were so humble. The facts
Who
came
was
out.
so humble?
The ministry. Ejapa was there. Krapa was there. Napo came the next day. Oscar represented Energy Commission, the boss. Ishmael represented PURC. The ECG boss, what's his name? Dubik was there. Viere, the boss was there. His NETCO boss who had gone to Hajj, so he asked his deputy to represent him. The facts were laid bare. So we've crossed that stage. The stage as to the course
no,
of
but
this
the honest truth that you were told in the room at Alisa is unknown to the public.
But Randy,
because the public perhaps would appreciate the issues. My point is that if you're candid about a thing, and we all know that, look, this is the situation.
But Randy, something happened.
Yes.
Right after the meeting, I addressed the press. I called the press to come there.
Okay.
Unknown to them, I brought all the press there to wait at the lobby. Then after my address, the chairman of the committee, he's the chairman. He's an MP member. Yes,
we all heard him.
Fault me.
We all heard him.
He was very candid.
We all heard him. Yeah.
So it's not as if the facts were not put out. And then on top of that, I asked the question, okay, this is a fuel challenge. Minister, when do you think we'll get fuel? Because if we get fuel, it's over. I said, well, they are still negotiating. They are talking to finance to see whether finance can give some money. But something came up. Since August, the Ministry of Finance has consistently failed to pay its portion into the cash waterfall mechanism. 200 million cedis every month on account of MMDAs, such as the health sector, police, not even 1 cedi.
Yeah, but the Ministry of Finance is broke.
So that's where I'm going.
Yes.
That has compounded to 1.6 million.
Billion,
sorry. So if the Ministry of Finance had made payments, at least that money could have been ring-fenced to buy fuel. So I made the point that if the Ministry of Finance cannot even pay for power consumed, how would they be able to get money for you to buy a parcel of fuel at about $58 million? It became obvious that they couldn't. So the chairman then directed and was adopted by the committee that given the state of affairs and the fact that before us, you are uncertain of when you will get fuel to resolve the challenge because of the financial bankruptcy that this government has led us into. We so direct that publish the load shedding timetable so that at least Ghanaians can plan their lives. Then the minister's representative said, well, we agree with you, but sometimes it's difficult.
Why?
We went into it and said, oh, sometimes the magnitude fluctuates. Then I came with a compromise and said, at least we know that today there will be load shedding. So in the morning, let ECG put it on their network or their platform that look, these areas may experience power outage, so they prepare. And they said, oh, that sounded like a compromise. So we agreed that if they can't give like a 1 month or 2 months load shedding timetable, at least weekly basis or fortnight or whatever, within that short period. Because today, I know that this week, GRIDCO has projected that on a daily basis, at peak, there will be a shortfall of 500. It's known for the week. It's known. The system operator generates it because they know the fuel available. And you can tell that based on this fuel, even if you were to order fuel, minimum 1 week before the fuel arrives. So from Monday to the end of the week, we're going to have a load shedding of 500 mega. Publish it. When they left, powers that be instructed them not to publish it. So even despite parliamentary committee's directive, the power sector players have refused to publish the load shedding timetable. All in the spirit of what you call political expediency. And you are punishing Ghanaians, peddling falsehood, concocted deliberate lies, just to hoodwink Ghanaians. And you think that is fair? Is that how we govern? No, is that how we govern? Won't you take Ghanaians serious at least for a moment? And you are dribbling people, spinning here and there, and claiming that transformers. But before the committee, you admit that it's a fuel challenge. The simple question is that, do we have a generation shortfall or not?
Yes, we all know.
We do. Are the plans available or not?
We all know.
No, are the plans available
since you
or not?
brought me in, the plans are available.
No, let's make the plans available.
The plans
let me answer this. You see, I want to get this clear for you,
John,
Randy.
we all agree on this.
Do we have a generation deficit or not?
Yes, we do.
Are the plans available or not? They are available. If we get fuel, will the plants fire or not? They will fire.
But John, can I
are they dependent on only gas? No.
Yes, but John,
if you get heavy fuel oil and distillate fuel oil, can we breach this 500 megawatts?
That's fine.
Yes.
So
what is the issue?
Can I address that
quickly?
Let me address that quickly. Yes. You see, when my brother talks about this dual fuel thing that he talks about, yes, admittedly, there are two plants. SemPower can run LCO.
AXA can run
HFO. I'm getting there, my brother.
KTP can run
diesel. Can run diesel, right? These are expensive fuel that it has not. No, let me land, my brother.
No,
these are expensive fuel that has not been factored into the price of electricity me and you pay. Now, you see, this conversation is an honest conversation. There are two things. When we've gone in the past where we said, oh, we'd rather pay more than sleep in darkness, right? My question, and the conversation I have had in rooms with people is that if this is a short-term problem, let's fix it than burden Ghanaians with increment in electricity prices to go and buy the alternative fuel that my brother talks about. Because, okay, so now PLC gives us a price, which me and you pay. It's based on a certain cost, which is the gas, which is with the weighted average, the weighted cost of gas, which we call the WAGOG. Okay, WAGOG. Based on that, you and I pay the tariff we are paying. If we are saying that there is a generational shortfall because some gas is not coming from here or this is not coming from here, we need to bring in diesel for the TP thermal plant in the Pond plant. We need to bring LCO for SemPower. We need to bring HFO for AXA. Okay, then we need to factor the cost because these are expensive fuel. We need to factor that cost.
Hold on, don't forget your trend of thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just want to ask a question here. Okay. Now, is it the case that there is a gas source for all these plants which is currently unavailable?
Reduced, yes, and NGAS. Let me explain the NGAS problem.
Yes.
NGAS went through a maintenance.
When?
About 2 months ago. They completed, but after NGAS completed, their end, they explain that you see they get gas from other fields. Chevron, Shell from Nigeria. They only get the gas from their fields. Let me. Yes, I know the flow, but you see the flows that is coming from NGAS. You see, you need constant supply of gas, not peak supply of gas. At peak, because we are having problems, NGAS, VRA and NGAS are the ones who are dealing. At some peak, NGAS give us more than we should get, right? But because of the maintenance during the day, we are not getting the peak, the flows that you have. It's peak periods. Go and check the NGAS flows during off-peak. So the point I'm making is that...
But is our problem not a peak time problem?
Yes, but then during the peak time problem is there. But there's also off-peak problem. But let me address what he was trying to say. Right. The government can easily procure, like you said, we can easily procure the diesel, the LCO, and the HFO, the light crude oil and the heavy fuel. But what that means is that it needs to be factored into the price of electricity me and you pay. You see, when he says Ministry of Finance, it is not. As we speak now, as we speak now.
I'll just open the budget and give you the figures.
Hold on, as we speak
17 billion.
My brother, okay. So why are you saying that Ministry of Finance have to add money to the cash water fund?
I'm saying that government has budgeted that there will be a shortfall and that it has to pay that shortfall.
So why isn't the electricity tariff collected by ECG able to pay?
I'm coming there. You see, I was building a point. Okay. Government says that there will be some shortfall because, first of all, in the tariff computation, don't forget, the reserve margin is not factored. It is government that decided that don't factor the reserve margin. Factor only the real energy charge and maybe a bit of spending reserve. The reserve margin, I will take care of it. The reserve margin is an insurance. We have to pay as consumers. Government says it will pay. The IMF says to the extent that you want to do it, provision for it. So if you check the budget, 2023 was 23 billion.
Cedis.
2024, 17 billion. The problem is that government is not paying for what it pledged that it will pay. That is the problem. If government was paying what it pledged it will pay, the burden will lessen.
But John,
and if you read the cash water
is that supposed to go for? Because bear in mind, this money, 23 billion, is about maybe $10 million, right? That barely buys a parcel of LCO. This 23 billion.
Who told you 23 billion?
23 billion is how many?
Master, check the figures. Well,
23 billion is how many dollars?
That's close to 200 million.
That's bad. Okay, so 200 million. Okay, 200 million buys you two parcels. No, a parcel is about 58.
No, it doesn't even matter.
It does because
let's crude oil
today is $100.
Let's assume it buys you two.
No, but I'm just saying. But you see, don't say that the cost which is transferred to Ghanaian is not important. That is the consideration the government is looking at.
Are you suggesting that in the PURC's price build-up, the WACOC?
Yes, the WACOC is only for gas.
No.
Other fuels are not included.
No.
Other fuels are included.
No, it's included.
Yeah, there's an average. An average of all.
It's not the weighted average of gas.
WACOG is simply gas. That's one question.
Yes. It's gas.
But then you factor
gas.
in HFO.
Yes.
You factor in light crude oil.
You have the formula.
I have the formula is for gas alone.
It's for gas. Yes. That's for gas.
But I'm saying that the tariff computation doesn't take only WACOG.
Yes, I agree.
It takes
the tariff
HFO.
computation takes HFO.
Yes. So what is the argument?
So why do you say? So why do you say
no? But the tariff computation that we are paying now, okay.
Secondly, the tariff computation is not fixed. The tariff computation is subject to adjustment.
Okay, so John, would you agree that if we are to bring in more heavy fuel, Ghanaians will pay more? Do you agree?
It's not me.
But do you agree?
PURC then has to say that we require X amount of HFO.
Yes.
If you do a pass-through, this is the cost. Yes. Government then has to make a decision.
Yes.
Whether it will allow consumers to pay or it wants to subsidize.
Yes.
It's a decision of government, not the decision of Ghanaians.
Who's government?
Dr. Bawumia is the head of the government.
No, government is
government.
So whatever, you see, I've always said...
When things go well, Dr. Bawumia doesn't come to sit and say that it's me and him.
But Randy, I've always said that.
Did he say that?
If we don't pay in tariffs, we'll pay in taxes.
I'm coming there.
I've always said that. Yes. Because then if government pays, we'll pay it in taxes.
Yes. The losses is talking about, when we were leaving office, the losses, ATTC, aggregate technical, ATCC, aggregate, technical, commercial, and collection losses 22%. 22. It's a fact. It's here. I can pull it.
When?
When we were leaving office in 2016, the losses...
You left office in 2017.
Whatever. But when we're leaving, my handing over notes, it was 22%.
22. And it's now 29.
Over 30%.
Oh.
Over 30%.
So we've had about 10 percentage points.
The 22, can you break it down in technical and commercial?
That is the amount you need. We can go into the...
No, but it's very important if you say that 22,
technical.
All I'm technical of 10% has always been there because of the aged infrastructure.
So you invest. That is your duty. And that is why we decided that we should apply the whole of the Compact 2 to the power sector. Bring in a private sector player, reduce the losses below 8%. But because of the corrupt deals that engulf the whole thing, they have to terminate the PDS deal. And indeed, even during PDS's time, the losses were on a sharp decline. Today, the losses have escalated to over 30%. ECG collects 70%. That 70% is about 1 billion. So if you find 1 billion of a certain amount, which gives you 70%, then you get the global figure.
Yeah.
Then you find 30% of that global figure, about 400 million losses.
On a monthly basis.
On a monthly basis. That's the state of the energy sector. You were voted into office to manage it.
4.8 billion cedis a year.
That is it. Almost 5 billion a year in terms of losses alone. And you see, it's not like it just occurred. The losses have been increasing on a year-by-year basis. And it's the duty of leadership. I don't hire the ECGMB. I don't constitute the board. I don't constitute PURC. So when you go and fail, and you give us this abysmal performance, don't turn around and say government is me and you. I'm not part of it. When President Mahama wins,
you're a ranking member
in
of
our
Parliament.
first 100 days.
But hold on, Randy,
when we win,
you know when my brother speaks,
in our first 100 days, we would address these losses and bring it down. And I'm telling you, we have what it takes to do that because we've done it before. We have demonstrated leadership and brought the losses down. We're on a very good trajectory. Look, the generations, we brought the generation. Gas. Today we are talking about gas, Randy. I have here 2023 Ghana Upstream Report. Kojo, you can see. Domestic gas, 82%. Gas imports, 18%. In 2022, about 107 BCF was exported to the domestic gas market. This is equivalent to 20 million barrels of oil. So if we didn't build a gas infrastructure, we would have consumed 20 million barrels of light crude oil.
And just to you know, when we're doing the thing about what government owes and the parcels and all that, 23 billion.
Yes.
You know, I just said 200 million. In fact, it is $1.769 billion.
Yes.
The 23 billion.
1 to 13.
Okay.
It's 1.7.
So that's enough to buy the fuel.
So about $1.8 billion. Thanks, Marco.
So because of the gas we consume in 2022, the substitution of liquid fuel for gas represents a savings of about 1.34 billion for 2022. So the LPP has been so lucky. In our time, we did 11 parcels of light crude oil at more than $100. Today, you are making a savings of $1.3 billion because of the gas infrastructure we put in place. The honest truth, Randy, and that is where we intend to tackle when we assume office, is that the level of opacity and duplicity at the upstream sector is led to reduced investments in the upstream sector. And you like the upstream sector. In 2019, when Mr. Kenoforeta went to borrow $3 billion of the Eurobond, crude oil production had risen to 196,000 barrels a day. When he was borrowing the money, he promised them that by 2023 we'll do 420,000 barrels. And so they believed him and gave the money. Today, do you know what we are doing? 138,000 barrels a day. Not only have we failed to achieve the 420, we have reduced from the 196 to 138. ENI is lost confidence in the gas, in the oil sector. ExxonMobil, they've left. When ExxonMobil left, they told us that it's because of energy transition. Last week, ExxonMobil is in Cote d'Ivoire. They've signed an agreement. They've started exploration. AGM is left. So the upstream sector, there's so much opacity there. The level of opacity and duplicity at the upstream sector is led to a lack of investment. And because they are not investing, they are not ramping up or finding or exploring or producing more gas. But like he said, your generation capacity is increasing. So it's not like the gas has reduced though. The gas has plateaued. But the consumption in terms of generation has increased, caught up with the gas, exceeded, so the gas is no more enough. So today we are doing 390 SCF. We need about 60 more. It's not there. It's not there.
So that's 60 we must complement with other fuels.
With other fuels. And they don't have the money. We are broke beyond imagination.
That is why I'm saying that it's not about
this country.
We can add that extra.
Look at where we are.
That extra can be added.
This is
I'm saying that if we add that extra expensive fuel, and that's the decision. So
you won't add it?
No, they
won't.
Give us the timetable. No. What I'm saying to you is that
if you want to add the expensive fuel, give us timetable. That one to say we should go and prepare.
You admit.
So
that,
which is which?
We admit that we are going through tough times, right? Everybody. I keep saying that our disposable income keep dwindling. And to keep increasing fuel prices, to keep increasing electricity prices, is a burden. If you have a short-term fix for a problem, fix it and don't burden the Ghanaian. That is why when these GPRTU people want to increase, transport fares, Ministry of Transport will come in and say, look, this is a period where we have international wars and stuff like that. The price might not necessarily stay there.
That's so selfish.
I know, but it is not selfish.
It's so selfish.
No, it's for Ghanaians. Look, Randy, there's one problem in Ghana. When things go up, they don't come down.
No, but let me explain to you why I said it's very selfish and unfair to those the transporters.
Why is that?
Okay, so you see that this issue of fixing the transport fares was done at a time, so regulating transport fares was done at a time when we also regulated
petrol prices. I understand.
Now, government realized that the regulation was creating a lot of losses. So government decided that it should not be burdened with those losses. So let's deregulate. So that driver, he can go to the pump today and it is 13 pesos. Morning 8 o'clock. He can go back at 5 p.m. and it is 14 pesos or 10 pesos or 15 pesos and he has to pay. Meanwhile, the determination of the fares, which is his revenue, is still regulated.
No, but Randy, there's a lot that goes into it, and we can have a different topic on a day to discuss that. But let me quickly make my point. What I'm trying to point out with my brother Jinapo is that fuel prices, to incorporate the higher expensive liquid fuel, will translate into, like he said, either Ghanaian government absorbing the extra cost or it being passed on to the average Ghanaian. Whichever way, if you don't pay in taxes, you pay in tariffs. Because if Ministry of Finance absorb it, there is no nyankumadi of money coming to Ministry of Finance. It's taxes. If we pass it on to tariffs, Ghanaians pay.
But Kojo, can I ask you this? we now have a quarterly review of the tariffs.
Yes.
Not so.
Yes.
Now, inherent in this build-up is, for example, Forex.
Yes.
What it means is that anytime the CD depreciates on a quarterly level, it is passed on to the consumer.
I agree.
How different is that? All the things that are reviewed quarterly, that are in the build-up, which are then passed to the consumer on a quarterly basis. How different is that?
Okay, so that's the difference. The difference is that you
Yes.
remember that when PLC is doing the review of tariffs, they don't use current prices, they use forward sales. So you work with Bank of Ghana to look at the forward 3 months forward to incorporate.
Yes.
The problem I'm saying is that this fuel issue, the thinking is that it's not a 3 months problem. That's the thinking. It's not a 3 months problem. It's a problem that they are all hands on deck. Ministry presidency is resolving. If that is
resolving in which way?
Resolving.
I don't really get it. In which way?
There are miracles. Hold on. John, you disagree on principle on what the government in power is doing and what you think.
What are you doing?
No, hold on. You have to ask. You have to ask the minister.
What I want to understand.
I am not the one to divulge that information. But let me make my point. What I'm saying is that in the thinking of the person who is running the economy, right? He's faced with a problem. He looks at the problem as a 0 to 3 months problem, which I'm resolving. You might disagree with how he's resolving the problem, right?
But I don't even know how.
No, but he doesn't have to. But as far as you are concerned,
I don't know how do I
as far as you are concerned, the problem is being resolved because the government is resolving it. I'm telling you, the government is resolving it.
How?
No, I am not the one to divulge that information.
Haven't you spoken to us about me?
I have.
You haven't had a conversation.
But hold on. What I represent Dr. Bawumia's manifesto. I don't say the Ministry of Energy. Look, I sat on one platform and said that drawing a timetable is difficult. And my brother here sits and knows what goes into drawing a timetable. It's not just trying to add 2 times 2 to make it 4 to draw a timetable. There's a lot of technical issues. There's a lot of technical issues that go into it. When I said it, a lot of these higher media and higher bloggers are taking up on me on social media saying that how can timetable be difficult? But it's not as simple. But let me make my point. Well, the point I'm making is that the government, thinks that the procurement of fuel, which will translate into higher tariffs for Ghanaians, right? At this point in time, can be avoided by putting in a solution.
Which solution?
I'm not the one to divulge that. When you have the opportunity to talk to the Minister of Energy, he will tell you. But what I'm telling you is that there is a solution.
I'll tell you something.
Let me know. But he came in front of. Hold on. He came in front of you. He came in front of you.
He said he doesn't know where you get the money.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. Listen, you know what I said earlier? My brother sits here and said he's not part of government. He is part of government. There are 3 arms of government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. He is a ranking member of the Mines and Energy Committee. In the UK, you know what we'll call him? Shadow Minister. Because he's a shadow minister. You are a shadow minister of energy. You are. Because that is equivalent to parliament. But he's a shadow minister. But he's a ranking member.
All they could do was what they did at Alisa.
No,
beyond that, they can't do anything.
But that's the point. But when he came to Alisa in front of you, you know what he told you. Say it.
What did I say?
What did the minister tell you when he came to you in front of you, Alisa?
He said they don't have the money to procure the fuel.
No, but aside that, what were the things he's putting in place?
What thing did he
He didn't tell you that he has anything.
He said he's engaging the Ministry of
No, but he didn't tell you anything.
To see if they can get some money for them.
You see, my brother. Everybody came and said it was money. But let me tell you, there are issues and it's being resolved. In the short term, when the government feels that we do not need to burden Ghanaians with increase in tariffs to bring in the full solution. Because if he was in government, Ghanaians will expect to pay more because you go and buy live crude oil.
So what will you do?
But the issue, my brother, I'm telling you that there's a solution.
So
I am just explaining to the viewer. I'm explaining to the viewer. I'm not the one
for the viewer. Hold on.
Randy, when you finish, I'll tell you what they are doing.
For the viewer that you're talking to.
Yes.
Who from day one has been lied to.
Nobody has lied to anybody, honestly. So where is that? Tell me one lie.
Oh, that it was as a result of transformers.
But then there are no localized. Hold on. There are no localized. Hold on. All of a sudden, there are no localized problems in Ghana.
No, the man said
no. Are there localized problems in Ghana?
It's resilient and stable.
Listening to you
yes.
and John,
yes,
I have been convinced by both of you that we have a problem with the procurement of fuels.
Yes.
That if we were to procure the fuels irrespective of anything.
That's one option, not only.
No, I'm just.
No, one
let
option.
me just finish. That if we were able to procure fuels, irrespective of any localized or whatever issue, we will not have the situation we're having.
That is not true. Not true. But you see, that is the point. Look, I'll give a typical example. 3 days ago in East Legon, they were in darkness for 18 hours.
Oh, that's an isolated
No, but it's a localized problem.
500
Somebody
megawatts.
who sits in 18. No. But you see, that's my
500
problem.
megawatts of load
That's
shedding.
my problem. Somebody who sits in East Legon
But I beg you, I have
had
some things
18 hours
I beg
of
you,
light
I
off.
beg you, I
It
want
took
to
him
deal
two
with some
songs.
things here.
And you are saying that it's
I
just
want to-
small.
But you see,
tackle
that
some
person in
things.
this Legon,
Yes.
if from January till today, that 18-hour thing is the only thing that he had experienced.
I agree.
He will not even speak
I
about
agree,
it.
but you see what I'm saying,
random power things.
Randy, there are random, as you borrow your word, random situations.
No, that one is not a problem. That's
No,
not the issue.
no.
That's
hold
not
on.
a random one.
I'm
We
saying
manage
that
it.
when you say there's a lie, government did not come out. It was ECG.
I'm just saying
Hold on. ECG came out and said that they had overloaded transformers. That wasn't government. It was ECG. And let's separate the two.
He didn't say government.
He said the Ghanaians have been lied to.
Yes,
but
he
the
didn't
Ghanaians,
say-
well, if you want to call what ECG put out there a lie, let ECG come and defend it. But I want to clear that it's not government.
When
that
the
has lied to
minister had a microphone in front of him,
He said ECG says it's transformers.
yes.
So
when
there
when there was a microphone in front of the minister,
Just what the minister
and I can
said.
play the video to you.
Oh, that's fine.
That's
I
what
mean,
he said.
I would dispute what you're
So
saying.
I'm saying that for the Ghanaian, hold on, for the Ghanaian who's watching both of you, who now has heard a certain
agreement
on what the problem is.
Yes.
You differ with solution.
Where one of the problems.
No, you differ.
No, we don't differ on solutions.
No.
We don't
You
differ
are
on
saying
solutions.
that the issue of buying the fuel is just one way.
No,
the other way.
issue of buying fuel, which my brother wants to prefer, is if he was in government and that's his solution, would increase tariffs for the average Ghanaian.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Alternative?
That's what I'm saying.
So,
The
the
alternative
point
is that not to hold on. The alternative is not to do these inflationary acts, which increase tariffs, increase inflation,
my point
and
is
everything
that
goes haywire.
For the Ghanaian viewer who's watching you, let's even admit that today we've all have found out the truth about our situation. JJ says that, look, the problem is fuel.
Yes.
If we provided the fuel, we will not have this problem.
Yes.
Because
we will not have all the problems.
Like as I
Okay, we won't have a
demonstrated,
generation deficit.
as
We won't have a
I
generation-
demonstrated,
we won't have a
if
generation
you have
deficit.
5,500 and your peak demand is even 4,000, you have a reserve of 1,500.
I agree.
Even if 1,000 is out of the system
It's not
on the
500.
basis of
the maintenance
and all those, even
Unforeseen
1,000
circumstances.
is out. You still should not have the problem you're having.
Some of the problems we are having.
Now we're talking of generation.
Generational
Let's
deficit.
deal
Yes,
with
yes.
generation.
So we agree. Now you say that that proposal will burden
The Ghanaians.
the Ghanaian
In the
a
short
lot
term.
more.
In the short term.
term, will burden Ghanaian. So the government is looking at alternatives to do it.
To resolve it without
You
burdening
don't
the
think
Ghanaians.
you don't think that all of us deserve to know
that? No, you deserve to know, but
the
you're asking the wrong
alternative
person.
and
But you're
ask
asking the wrong-
government.
You're asking the wrong person. You deserve to know, but bring Napo to here and ask him.
Oh no, that's the other time. The other time was asked. He says that we should go and draw our timetable. He's my friend. I don't want him to give me the answer because if he gives me the answer, he knows that I'm also going to tell him something.
No, but
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll resolve it. I think that I need some. Look, guys, we need some refueling. Let's take a break. We're out of gas. We'll be back shortly.
Whitehall has sachets and in different sizes too. You didn't know? These Whitehall sachets that we all use to fry our meat and fishes, to prepare our favorite meals, and to refill our empty 30 original fried bottles. Hey, are you sure you are a fellow Ghanaian?
Get your trusted fried sachets today for affordability, convenience, and for the refilling of your original Frital bottle.
Frital, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
Fortune rice. It's me emu ediane biara. Yansio kakre bipe. Emu no nkekamu. Na ne hwam ne dedie. Delicious. Said your mama tie no pepepe.
Ya the Fortune emopa abedwaso. Ghana mo a ede. Ma emu ediane nyina.
FDA aje ejedi enkratoe yatum.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Machasi. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me Gidi say we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some me kind. Kel 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Ile kosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you will see so feeling to Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Our stories begin right here, and we never write them alone. There'll be pages we love to read again and again, and some we want to tear out. They are stories of dreamers, stories of creators, stories of strivers, stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters, APSA.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your intention?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
After you on a line, ting.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download the app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Miss Seth, I'm starting work next month.
Yeah, that Jama washing powder for now. What didn't Rahurua, a woman yinkaya srono eddy.
Sham. And Mount Sahun Shisho. And a epu a front sui. A yink kayan kasa.
Oh, I still to be.
The Jama washing powder for furnace sachets I can see in Numaba. A yink kayan kasa.
For Jama washing powder, bottle 30.
Hey! New Jama washing powder. Emanya niti ne musu ye hwam. Wo ho kafo a oma won tade niti. FDA age edwede nkrato yatum.
Right, welcome back to the show. We're a bit energized to do round two of this. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have the Honorable John Abdullahi Jinapo and Kojo Nsafwa Poku. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, as God the Mola, God the Power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie Mack will play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, that Kosombo Dan be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190-055-001-0000. Yes, JJ.
You see, Randy, let me make this point clear. Nana, this is the obvious fact. It's not as if all of a sudden we've had a situation on our hands. Right from 2017, we kept cautioning this government. First of all, if you look at the energy sector levies, it's generated 33 billion.
Over which period?
From 2017 to date. ESLA. 33 billion.
33 billion cedis.
Read the report, and you see how they've mismanaged the monies and used the monies for unintended purposes. At that time when they did the audit, the outstanding legacy debt, the total debt was 9.7 billion.
9.7 billion cedis.
They refinanced about 5 billion at a very high interest rate, and we're paying only the interest component. So the principal never moved. The remainder of about 4 billion has compounded at about 18% to date. That's about 12 billion.
Whoa.
Yes. So if you add the 5 billion, that's about 17 billion.
So we generated 33 billion. Okay, so we instituted a levy, which at a point in time was instituted a levy for an indebtedness of about 10 billion. That levy has generated 33 billion over the period. But the 10 billion debt,
it's now about 17
for which reason we instituted a levy, is at 17 billion.
And not just that. Then he brought another levy called Energy Sector Recovery Levy. So apart from ESLA, there's Energy Sector Recovery Levy as well.
Also,
increased ESLA by 33%, and then introduce a new levy called Energy Sector Recovery Levy. That Energy Sector Recovery, we don't even know how he uses that money. At least that's what ESLA.
When you say who are you talking about?
Parliament.
But no, supposed to be asking
when you say he, who?
I'm president. Okay, the government.
The Ministry of Finance. No, Ministry of Finance.
No,
Ministry of Finance.
Every tax and levy is done on behalf of the president.
No, but it's done by finance. The person he calls in front of his committee.
No, it's the president.
No. The government is everybody. The Ministry of Finance.
Okay, the executive.
No. The Ministry of Finance. The Minister of Finance.
Okay.
For you to approve.
Okay, let me be specific.
For you to approve his appropriation.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
For you to approve his appropriation, you can't say you don't understand something in the budget.
I'm saying so because with ESLA, the law requires that they publish in detail receipts and how the monies were used. That's how we made ESLA.
Yes.
With Energy Sector Recovery Levy, he added it to the consolidated man. So his global figure and he spends it. You can't track it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That the two, we made it so just like oil money. You can track it. ESLA, you can track it. But with this one, you cannot track it. Then we went to the gas era. Now you were buying crude oil. I've just demonstrated to you that because of President Mahama and President Mese's intervention, we are making about $1 billion savings. One would have thought that would have helped the sector. If you read the latest PIAC report, Ghana Gas has an outstanding debt of $600 million for raw gas. It's there today, $600 million, unpaid. All the gas that has been supplied through Ghana Gas, largely they've not paid that money.
So if we didn't have a Ghana Gas,
look, then the sector would have collapsed.
And an end gas will not let you owe beyond a certain figure.
Yes.
What would have happened?
No, the sector would have collapsed completely because hydro is limited. So that's the question. That is it. That look. So if President Mills and President Mahama had not completed this gas infrastructure, what would have been the state? Now we need just the equivalent of oil for just about 30 scarf, and we can't buy. So can you imagine if this 390 was not available? What would have happened to this economy?
Yeah, but George,
that is serious.
But government is continuous. You come, you do your bit, you go, somebody come and do their bit. But if, scenario analysis is there, but you within 4 years you did something. Ghanaians clap for you.
What did you
add? No, hold on. For the 2008. Hold on. For the good work President Atami did.
You rather decline what you
hold on. For the good work President Muhammad, for the
John.
For the good work that President Atami did, Ghanaians rewarded you with 4 years. So you came back into power in 2012 to 2016. It's only that from 2012 to 2016, you were so bad in that time that Ghanaian took you out. So yes, all this Ghana gas thing that you did was a good thing.
It's worse now.
No, but my brother. Ghana is not. Listen, when you keep saying that it's worse, there's been an improvement. You know, there was an interesting. There's an interesting conversation.
Improvement in what?
You keep talking about the ESLA and the new bid being added and all that. Personally, I was not a fan of the bonding of the ESLA. I wasn't a fan of it because I think that it didn't really resolve the problem at hand. At that stage, to bond it, negotiate with debtors and let them pay them off and owe a bond person. Yes, in the investment banking space makes sense. But in a practical sense, that's what you're saying now, is generated 33 billion.
Because the point is that we didn't do what we said we were going to do.
Which is?
You know, that you were going to pay off the debt.
But the debt was paid off. The debt was paid off, but then you now transfer the debt from one person to another person.
Yeah, the debt was not paid off.
Yes.
They did what you call a swap.
Yes.
Yes, the same thing.
A swap simply means I give you paper and say, oh, you, I can't pay you. I owe you now.
Yes, but the local guys were paid off. The local guys were paid.
They didn't raise any bond. What they were doing was
simply... But the local guys paid. The local guys, the energy sector...
In economics
and anytime I analyze the decisions and where our economy is and all that. Do you know what I do when I get home? I go watch Madoff.
Yeah, you're right.
I go watch Madoff.
Look, let's admit some of the challenges.
And for those of you who are watching me, maybe go and watch Madoff. I'll give you, there are three movies on Netflix that deal with those things. I'll try and get you all 3 titles. By any time I try to crack my brain around what is happening, I go home and I watch Madoff and I have a certain understanding.
Yes.
But you know doesn't translate into this. Madoff
ENI gas. So far, the LC that was established by the World Bank, I think IFC, International Finance Corporation, is a wing of the World Bank. They backstop the ENI project with 500 million LC. Because of non-payment, they've drawn down now, it's left with 120 million. 120 million. So we have a debt of 380 million, is that not it? Outstanding. Then gas supplied, January, February, March. The bill is 173 million. 2024. This year. When you add the two, you are talking of $600 million. Yes. When you add it to the Ghana gas, 600 million. Gas alone, $1.2 billion.
And that was used to do what?
To fire the thermal plant.
To do what?
To generate power.
For who?
for Ghanaians.
Thank you.
And Ghanaians
so
have
don't
paid.
make it look like somebody.
And
Ghanaians
have paid.
Ghanaians have not paid.
Hey,
you see, that's the
boy,
problem.
pay my electricity
Ghanaians have not paid.
I'm a prepaid.
No.
I'm a prepaid person.
So let's put the conversation in order. That money was used to procure gas, given to the IPPs to produce electricity for Ghanaians. So our lights have been on for a certain long period of time with this money that he's mentioning.
Yes.
So don't let it put out there as if somebody has chopped that money.
Let me ask.
I'm going to a certain level.
Are you saying that me, who buys prepaid, I have not paid for the electricity I've consumed?
I've said I'm not saying you haven't, but let's see where the problem also is. Haven't you heard this problem where now people have said that ECG is disconnecting hospitals? Haven't you heard that?
But that
no, but you've heard that.
And I'm sure to
you
you
that is not paying his bill.
No. The
government takes our taxes.
Hospitals and schools.
Yes.
When ECG goes to connect, people are upset, right? But let me give an example of Legon. Legon owes. Right?
Legon has been paid.
Hold on. No,
Legon has been paid.
Listen, when you guys were in Parliament,
I'm telling you, 1 month, in a certain month,
you guys owe 18 million.
Paid 5 million.
Disconnected.
You can check from Legon. They paid 5 million cedis.
Okay.
You see, I'm saying that. So the difference, there's a difference. Government then says that difference, I will pay it. How would I pay it? I want to tax Ghanaians with energy sector recovery levy. I want to tax Ghanaians with like other levies. And they present the budget and say they will take the revenues we make over 100 billion. I think about 170 billion now or so. I have to just check. It's been a while. So I'll use part of it to pay. Government is not doing that.
What is he doing?
They are using the money for unintended purposes.
Which is?
Flying presidential jets, and you know it. You know it. So going on, Randy.
But I guess there's a point which is being made, and I think we need to establish that.
Yes.
But you see,
if we look at JJ, hold on. If we look at all the levies that the same Ghanaian, the beneficiary of the lights on,
yes,
is being levied,
yes,
for purposes of legacy debts and recurring debts in the sector. So at least there are two levies.
The taxes
and the ESRL.
Yes.
Those two. Now, if government were applying the proceeds
and we pay taxes, commercial people pay over 17% of VAT on the power they consume. When they pay for the power, government then charges them over 17% in taxes on electricity alone.
That's
for such purpose.
Yes. So I'm saying that if we were to apply at least ESLA and ESRL, the proceeds in the sector for which reason we are being levied, the story would have been this.
Well, Randy, you see, the energy sector indebtedness, which my brother always wants to reiterate, is there, has been there. And until I have always said this, that
we have a solution.
No, let me. No, we have a solution. Oh, if you have a solution, we have a solution. I could have a solution, and the solution is being.
That's why you should have won the presidential prime minister. I know you have. If you have won it, you have a different story.
Oh, that's fine.
You are not even a mate. You are a bookman. So don't say you have a solution.
Even the bookman said the book. He doesn't get the book.
You see, the bookman, listen to this, the bookman is very close to the meat.
Oh, no.
So when the meat becomes the driver, when the meat becomes the driver, who gets to
promote? 35, 32, 16. It's your turn to load.
No, but my brother, listen. We have a solution, you have a solution.
No problem. In 2016, you didn't tell Ghanaians that when you come to power, they would be administering the economy. You told them that you have the solution. Ghanaians voted for you. Your duty as a government is to think and resolve the challenges.
I don't doubt that.
So if today you are unable to resolve the challenges and it's compounding, don't turn around and blame Ghanaians.
I'm not blaming. Nobody's blaming Ghanaians.
At least thank them for giving you
Randy,
the
nobody's blaming Ghanaians.
But
I just think it's unfair when you say we are blaming Ghanaians. There is a way forward, and the way forward is not your.
Don't worry. The way forward, Randy, is that we have short-term, medium to long-term measures. We have briefed our flag bearer. We've briefed it. He's aware of the enormity of the challenge and the magnitude and gravamen of this problem and that is confronting. He's aware. He's tasked us to develop a policy document. We have done that. In our first 100 days, we want to put competent people, set KPIs, and ensure that we reduce the losses. That's one. When you reduce the losses, it means that you are getting more revenue. If you get more revenue, you can then at least clean a bit of the value chain. the legacy debt, we think that what we've gotten to, the state should take that debt. Look, take it off the books of the. He's writing, you see?
No, I'm not going to write what you said. I'm not going to write what you said. When you are speaking, I have to write. I don't need to interject. That's what I was going to write.
You see why sometimes I don't want to be talking about this thing.
They will steal the ideas. They will steal the ideas.
No, but John, when you are next to me, you are empowered.
Oh, no.
About four viewers have sent me. One says, Doomsday to be over by next week. Chairman of Energy Subcommittee of Baumia campaign. Another says, we'll resolve power outages before April. Kojo Poku.
Those are the trollers. These are the bloggers and the trollers.
They say you said this.
I did mention that. And I've said it here earlier that the reason I went in to make that statement was that I was privy to certain conversations that had gone on. And there was scope to roll out some solutions.
So what happened?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You keep asking the wrong person.
No, look. You know why? Why? Because for these people,
yes,
they had you.
Yes, and I've learned my lesson. Okay. Because since I'm not the implementer, you see, if I'm not the implementer, I'm the bookman.
Yes.
I don't write the car, I only write the numbers as you put it.
Yes.
So I can't tell you when the car will get there.
Right.
So I misspoke. Maybe the driver, I overheard the driver saying that, in Koko, he'll be there in 2 hours. Meanwhile, the bookman.
No, it's the mate who will be saying that, not the driver.
That's fine.
It's the mate who will shout.
In this case, it was the bookman who went and spoke. So I've learned my lesson. That's why, Randy, on this program, I have refrained from giving certain details and saying that I'm not the right person to give that detail.
Right.
The ministry would, at the right time, give those details. But let me say this, Randy. Look, Kojo Poku, everybody, you asked me in the beginning, I was happy you asked that question. Why did I get into this presidential thing? By and large, look, we can never say, and on my presidential run, I said that the Nanado-led government had done certain things that Kojo Poku disagreed with, right? And some of the things is that I said that when we came in 2017, this energy sector indebtedness, we should have basically stopped the hemorrhaging, right? You don't basically fix the wound when it's still hemorrhaging. So fix the hemorrhaging, stop the re-incurring of debt. Make sure that from day zero, there is no more debt to day one. So like my brother said, ring fence it, stop it, and then put measures in place to basically make sure that we are getting full cost recovery, whatever the solutions are. But we didn't do that. Well, Ejakun, when he did his vetting, said that was 2.4 billion, and he encouraged it, right? But he became minister, and all the things that were put in place, nothing shows that we have stopped the hemorrhaging. So that has recurred till now. So I'm not a fan of how certain things have been handled in the energy sector, and I'll tell you point blank. That is why I think that with me as chairman of Dr. Baumia's Energy Committee, the policies I will put in place will do exactly that. And Doctor is aware. You have briefed your flag bearer. Our flag bearer has been briefed for the last 7 years, and some of us from the energy sector, from the civil society, have also come in and streamlined his thinking. So yes, when we all launch our manifestos, everybody will know who has briefed who, what, and what is going on. And you see our manifesto, lovely, beautiful.
Well, and unfortunately for you, you have been in power for 7 years and 3 months, and you are still in power.
Yes.
And you have the
no, that's
solution.
fine. Hold on.
Baumia has the solution.
Nanado stood in parliament and said one thing. He said he is the president, all the faults attributed to him, and he raised his hand and accepted it. There are some. My brother, I write a lot. I write articles, and I publish some of them. Sometimes I just put on social media. I have criticized a lot of things, and not today I'm going to walk them back. So when you see somebody who's part of, I'm the one of the most criticized MPP person, because I criticize this government on issues that I think that
you're one of the key critics.
Yes, I'm one of the key critics of this government in terms of the energy space and other things. So everybody knows that. So when we look at going forward, you know that if Kojo Poku now sits here, the going forward is different, because the going forward can be business as usual.
Somebody once told us about this going forward. Later on, the person told us that is a myth. you Bukuma, we should listen to you.
See, Randy, very soon we'll be dealing with something. And as you can see, for instance, we are confident that in 3 months, Randy, you can see it.
I thought you said you will share this.
No, but 3 months. These are solutions, policy proposals.
You said that you knew. You said that before we went on a break. You said you knew what government was planning to do.
Yes. They are in Dubai as we speak.
Who is in Dubai?
Government officials from the Ministry of Energy negotiating with a company called NextWise.
NEXT.
NextWise, attempting to procure light crude oil on credit, payable when President Mahama assumes office.
Hey, how?
I'm telling you.
How do you know you're assuming office?
I am telling you.
But payable in the future, but payable when you assume office, that's 10 years from now.
First of all, under the Constitution, Article 181, international agreements ought to be ratified or approved by Parliament. And so let me send a warning to all these companies. If you go and sit somewhere in cahoot with government and sign agreements without going through the right processes and supply the crude oil, I can state on authority that President Mahama would not honor any illegality.
In 10 years?
It doesn't matter. He won't honor any illegality. Look, this ECG thing they're talking about, the very day they announced the crashing, hotel officials were there. Today, as I speak to you,
was it national security?
I'm telling you, look, it was national security deal. It was a cooked deal. They've handed over the payment system to Hotel without any competitive process.
I'm sure you saw. I'm sure you saw.
My next line of action.
I'm sure you saw the release that said that Hotel have now released the digital platform to
look, and you know something? ECG paid about $25 million for Hotel to install the system. Look, this government, what they've done to the energy.
But ECG or government? I don't understand.
This government,
this is government. It's 100% owned by government.
No. Let's not do that.
I'm not just talking about ECG.
ECG has a board.
I'm not talking about ECG. ECG is 100% owned by government. That's one.
Yes.
You appoint the MD. Two. You constitute the board.
The board of ECG is constituted by government.
Even the MD is appointed by the government.
The MD is appointed by government.
Yes.
In fact, recently, just a few weeks ago, when the board chairman of ECG resigned, the president has appointed a deputy minister who sits on the board as a board chair.
Yes, okay, so that's fine. Nobody is disputing the fact that government owe ECG. But you can't take the action because ECG is an incorporate company that can be sued or sued. And you know that, right?
No.
Let's not do that. No. Let me land.
Yes.
ECG is a company incorporated by law that can be sued and be sued. That can sue and be sued.
Then why did the president
ECG recently, even board members of ECG,
why did the president direct them
even board members of ECG are saying that PLC can't find them.
Yes.
And there's a distinction between board members and the company.
Yes.
So how do you now go to government?
So hold on.
It's not government. It's
you
ECG.
have been, hold on.
Let's stop this.
You have been in private sector for a long time.
Yes.
And even before I ask you the question, I'll say that I'm surprised with your narrative, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Look, if the state is the sole shareholder of ECG, and the state knows, the owner of the company knows about the importance and the problems of the company, the owner appoints people at both the policy and the functional management levels for a particular outcome, a particular reason.
Yes.
For as long as the state keeps those people in there, it means that the state is happy with what they are doing.
I agree. I don't dispute.
So just hold on. So when we see that the company is going from bad to worse, or has gone from bad to worse, we cannot sit back and say that the sole shareholder, the owner of the company, who knowing the problems of the company, believe that these are the people with the requisite skills to deliver on my mandate for this company. Put them in there. And the company goes from bad to worse. And we say that this shareholder has no responsibility. He doesn't have a problem.
That's a different conversation, right?
He doesn't have a problem.
When you're saying the company is bad, you don't mention government. You mention the company. Let me give you a typical example. And under his tenure as deputy minister, let me tell you what happened.
Yes.
You remember GMPC?
Yes.
GMPC is clothed with the same thing you just mentioned. Owned by government, appoints, and all the things you just mentioned.
Yes.
You remember when GMPC was going to borrow, and at that time MPP in opposition, they now said that no, GMPC has to basically go to parliament. They went to court, and the court ruled that GMPC can do what they want because it's a different entity and is not bounded by the Ministry of Finance and government. So GMPC is not government.
Yes.
The court ruled that.
Yes.
So why are we not saying that because they appoint? It should be the same. It shouldn't be the same. The state, let me finish. Mr. Kwame Despite owns, and I don't even know the owner of Metro.
Can the president sack the entire board of ECG today?
Yes. But you cannot take, you see, my problem I had is that ECG is doing badly. Let's mention ECG. If you say government, it's the
No, do you know why? Do you know why?
Now,
do you know
okay,
why? No, Kojo, I am a Ghanaian. I am a Ghanaian. If ECG is profitable, it's my money. If ECG is making losses, it is my loss. I have put a government in place to say that take all decisions on my behalf for all these companies that we own. And the government takes decisions on who should run these companies.
I want to read Baumia's speech, where he's taking credit in the energy sector.
Oh, but those energy sector is not ECG.
But that's what I'm saying, that this government,
whoever owns,
I was just not just
who's the
talking
owner
about
of Metro?
I said the whole energy sector.
Who owns majority Metro?
There are two entities
energy
that
sector.
No, but the main majority shareholder, company.
They are equal.
Company.
Two companies.
Name one company.
Equally.
Name one company. I don't know who owns Metro. But, okay, but let me use another entity. So Despite owns UTV, right? When UTV is doing so badly, will somebody say that UTV is doing so badly or say Despite is doing badly?
What if ECG is doing so? What if the Despite is doing? The company is doing so good?
No, the company.
No, if they're doing so
but
good,
it's not Despite.
That one there. But he's here claiming credit.
You see, but that is wrong.
He's here.
And he's wrong. Let's call wrong.
And he's wrong.
Hold on.
I agree with
energy
you.
sector is not the same as ECG. The whole sector is government. But I have a problem. I have a problem when we always bring government. You see, because they are technocrats and civil servants who don't do their work. And because government is always blamed, they go under the shadows and do what they're doing. ECG is not.
The Chancellor said that anytime the light goes, she curses President Mahama. When the current energy minister, this energy minister, the man you say we shouldn't blame because he's in government, when we had load shedding, he went on demonstration and lambasted President Mahama directly. Not even the minister. He took President Mahama on.
In fact, I remember President Kufuor's tweet that, Mr. President, when the lights go off and they come back, is it not doing so? How should we call it?
Oh, but that one there is a true word.
No, all I'm saying is that me sitting here as a Ghanaian, I can't appoint somebody.
I agree.
I cannot sack anybody. I cannot give anybody a directive. I have elected a government to take those decisions on my behalf.
I agree.
The government, believing that it has a capacity to identify and appoint the right people to do the thing, has done so. The thing is going from bad to worse. Who do I hold responsible?
The government.
Yes.
Yes, I agree in that context. But when you say that, you see, you wanted to make a statement implying that ECG has done badly. And you said government has done badly.
Do you disagree?
Yes.
You disagree that ECG has done badly?
No, ECG has not been the best. In the recent times, all the
if your losses, technical and commercial, have moved from 22% to over 30%. When the 22% we thought was so bad, and so we were bringing in a dispensation to further reduce the 22%. And we have moved to over 30%.
And your upstream was 196.
I would have to check that 22%, my brother.
I'll share with you.
But no, that's fine. I mean, I learn every day.
I don't joke with this.
Randy, my problem is that we should always differentiate, because by lambasting everything as government, people tend to. And recently there was an issue where WAPCO disconnected the line, and the issue of the GMPC MD. I wrote about it, that I don't think that people say, oh, government, oh, Meanwhile, it's the value chain that where GMPC MD didn't do its work.
So you see, talking about the same value chain, let's look at something. See, when there was the dispute between Ghana Gas and GMPC over Gensa, government stepped in. His Excellency the Vice President. His Excellency the Vice President, there was the one who superintended over the thing and took a decision.
Yes.
The same with PDS.
On who should be responsible for this. ECG and the value chain. The issue of the cash waterfall mechanism is under the auspices of the Vice President.
No, PULC.
No, Vice President. Cash waterfall mechanism is the Vice President.
It's not the Vice President.
Ask him.
The Vice President.
Please check.
Please.
You are his. No.
Kojo.
Then you haven't been briefed well.
You are the chair of his. Ask him. Ask the Vice President.
No. The Vice President.
The cash waterfall mechanism is under his auspices.
Check. Hold on. Is you saying that it's under the office of the President or under his office?
No.
Vice President.
No, but there's nothing under the Vice President. Everything is under the office of the President. PULC.
No, as I check.
No, hold on.
This man never accepts responsibility.
He doesn't chair it. What I'm saying is that the office of the president. There's no office of the vice president.
Who told you that? There is.
In our laws, PULC is under the office of the president.
No, I said cash waterfall.
Yes, but the cash waterfall mechanism is chaired by a committee. Right? It's a committee
under the auspices of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
It's under the vice president.
What is auspices?
He's superintendent over it.
Don't argue. Just text any of the guys in his office. They will tell you.
Whether the vice president's office does not superintend over the cash waterfall.
No, but there's a representative from the vice president's office who chairs it. But what I'm saying is that...
it doesn't matter.
Hold on. When you... Hold on. John. Hey. You are a parliamentary candidate. You're MP. When you guys formed the cash waterfall, and emanated from your time, right? The law in place, who is supposed to be the chair?
It's not governed by law. It's not law.
It's not governed by law.
No, it's
the policy. Okay, the policy. Who governs it?
There's a policy.
Okay, the policy. Who governs it? You were the deputy minister. Who governs it?
No, we decided that the Minister of Energy, the Minister of Finance should.
The Minister of Finance should.
Yeah, you decided the Vice President's office should. Fine. That's your decision.
But the Vice President's office does not chair it. That's the point I'm trying to make.
You know, Georgia Isi of NADMO, just before he finished, he's asked a question. He says I should ask you. He needs an explanation.
Okay.
He says that, is it the responsibility of government to provide fuel for the power producing IPPs? Is purchasing of fuel not part of the production cost of power? Please ask Kojo Poku to explain. Is this his Kelewele analysis or something?
Okay, so unfortunately, this is the problem that needs to be resolved going forward. When we have, we have emergency power and we have the normal power purchase agreement. There has been a trend where from the 2012-13 problem that came up, all the PPAs that we signed, we made fuel pass through, so that it now becomes the responsibility of government, VRA as the nominated entity, to provide fuel for the IPPs. But that, for me, was wrong. The IPP should have been made to procure their own fuel. But because that is there's something called emergency power, which is the 2012-2016 regime, which my brother was deputy of, where the president gave a caveat that, look, you can procure emergency power because of the dire problem that we have. So AXA Car Power Ameri was brought in under EPC, Emergency Power, EPA, Emergency Power Agreement, and later novated, changed into a power purchase agreement. Under a normal purchase power agreement, the IPP should buy their own fuel. But because we now extended the EPA...
No, we will not even do that. We will not do that.
Well, that's fine. What I'm saying, but what is this now?
Adequate supply of gas.
Well, that's fine.
When there's adequate supply of gas, you get a body to nominate the gas. Based on what the market oversight panel will decide, you then do the...
I'm writing. Is that what you're
doing? Yes, so finish on that.
So the issue is that because...
But let me find out something.
Okay.
Whether the company is purchasing its own fuel, or government is providing the fuel.
It's pass-through.
It's not pass-through.
No, fuel is not pass-through.
No, fuel is pass-through now.
No, fuel is a pass-through.
No, see, the inadequacy in the system.
Fuel varies.
No, the inadequacy in the value chain is that the IPP, whether he's paid or not paid, government will give him fuel, he keeps generating, and the bill keeps accruing, right? If he is basically buying his own fuel, then you are paying him the energy charge plus the cost of fuel.
Yeah, but the fuel will be a pass-through.
No, but the point is that
the IPP cannot just say that bought fuel at this amount.
I know, I agree. I have to verify. But the point is that the difference will be that you need to pay him his energy charge plus the cost of fuel.
No, what would change?
What would change is that the liquidity will improve. The always liquidity for because so if Asogli buy their own gas. Right? If Sem Power buy their own gas, if Car Power buy their own gas, then they are paying of Ghana Gas, they are paying of ENI. It's not the responsibility of government.
No, it's the responsibility of ECG. And if ECG doesn't pay for the fuel,
but that is when ECG
they will declare availability and still charge you.
No.
But you got it.
I am
you see,
explaining something.
The first week, Car Power will buy the fuel and supply the power and say, this is the energy charge, this is the fuel. Give me my money to go and pay for the fuel and buy more. If you default and you don't give him the fuel, he will declare availability and still charge you.
But now there is a difference because now
what is
the VRA
it's the same bill.
No, it is not.
Especially when you've moved to a gas era. Why should they go and buy their own fuel?
So let me
in a gas era.
Hold on.
So Car Power. Car Power consumes gas. Now,
the
go and buy his own fuel again.
N gas that comes from Nigeria, who pays for it?
The N gas VRA.
Thank you. So that's the point.
VRA gives the bill to ECG.
No, but
this is gas that has been consumed.
My point. So
ECG pay and I'll pay NGAS.
I'm coming. So, Kojo, so if NGAS was coming to say car power, you are saying that car power should buy from NGAS directly.
And bill ECG.
So no, and build the cash waterfall.
Oh no, they build ECG.
Not build ECG. Build the cash waterfall.
So if the cash waterfall
is the problem. No, but you see that's the problem.
And the cash waterfall is unable to pay.
And I don't expect you to understand it because the briefing he gave to his boss was
no. Let's assume that he builds the cash waterfall.
Let me explain something. And my brother.
How do you build ECG or they build cash waterfall?
They're supposed to build cash waterfall, not ECG.
No.
ECG also. But that is where the problem is.
How do you build the cash waterfall?
Let me understand something.
Let me explain.
So let me ask you. You can explain it better. Let me understand something.
Don't do that,
gentlemen. Let me understand something. I am an IPP.
Yes.
I produce power. I sell the power to ECG.
Yes.
Not so.
Yes.
I sell the power to ECG.
And ECG then sells to consumers.
I sell to ECG.
Yes.
What ECG does to it is not my business.
Yes.
Okay. So I've given ECG 100 megawatts. PURC says that 1 megawatt is X.
Yes.
So ECG
total Y.
I will invoice ECG Y, and then ECG has to pay me that.
That's all.
Whether the cash waterfall mechanism has the capacity to pay me all or not, it's not a
yes. That's where the problem is. That's where I'm saying that is where the problem.
That is even why the cash waterfall mechanism
we know of an existing problem.
Because when ECG is built,
because they
do not pay.
Why I asked the question was that I thought that, you see, first of all, you have a company that's running a 30% loss. Let's even put at 30. So it's able to only generate 70%. That is if it's done full collection. It's able to generate only 70% of what is given to it. Now this 70%, over time, ECG was not even paying the people properly.
Yes.
So the cash, hold on a minute, and when I finish, you can say it's wrong. So the cash waterfall mechanism came in to say that, look, for what you collect,
apportionment.
You owe us X. You owe us X. What we have supplied you, we have invoiced you. You owe us that. However, even the monies that you collect, because of the level of indebtedness, if you are collecting 70%, this 70%, you will declare the collections at the end of the month. When you have declared it, we have a sharing formula of that 70.
That's it.
So there's category A, there's category
that
B.
Is
you, the ECG yourself,
this
is how much you will get from it.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't take away the fact that what we are giving us from the cash waterfall mechanism is only a deduction from what you actually owe us.
Yes.
So what you owe us is still outstanding.
So the point,
and even the current one.
So can I explain, my brother? You see, you are in the archive of things. Let me bring you to the new things.
Yes. Help us.
What I'm trying to say is that you have described the problem, right? That's the problem. Where ECG were using receivables as if it's ECG money, but it's not.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because ECG only is supposed to live on what is called the distribution service charge.
Yes.
Which is their share of what they collect.
Yes.
So if ECG collects money of power they have distributed, the money that comes in is not for ECG.
Yes.
ECG's share of that money is only what you call the DSC.
Yes.
So what I am saying is that now the cash waterfall is the one that assumes the responsibility of paying everybody in the value chain. So what you are saying is that ECG now also present their bill. So let's not make it look like you collected 200 million. And in the past, ECG had 200 million. Let me finish. ECG has a discretion of who they pay.
Yes.
Because the money they treat it as is their money.
Yes.
But that's the old problem. So that's why I'm saying that.
In fact, are you even aware that under what was agreed on with the cash water,
they don't follow it?
ECG itself even went to
has violated it.
I agree.
And had a different arrangement with them.
Exactly.
Which they are even not following.
Thank you. So that's where. But to the question the gentleman asked on the WhatsApp, that's where I'm saying that the solution is not to still keep the current regime where gas, which they put in place, the fuel is passed through.
How does
the
what you are
fuel
saying
being
solve
passed
the
through?
issue?
My brother, you keep that, we keep what we keep. We are saying that to improve the system, we are going to change it. So and to change it is not to make gas.
Kojo, don't you think that? Kojo, don't you think that?
Let me tell him something.
Kojo, don't you think that? Kojo, don't you think that? But for government providing the fuel, many of these plants would have stopped producing
long ago.
That's what we're doing.
If listen, government should.
That's what we're doing with
car
power. Car power, government had no business procuring fuel. Car power had to procure its own fuel in conjunction with GMPC, because they had done their own business arrangement. As soon as this government assumed office, 2017, Kenoforiata changed it.
Do you know the difference between yours and now?
You see that
you ran HFO in Tama.
I'm talking
you ran
HFO.
Car Power was in HFO in Tama. It was relocated to Tapa on gas. So it's not the same thing.
No, you are wrong. When it was in Tema,
yes,
and this arrangement you are advocating for was in place, your party, your government
changed what?
Changed the arrangement and gave the HFO to a company. If you want to mention the company's name,
you see,
that company supplied the HFO 470 million.
Can I say something?
Before it moved,
individuals
is what they're saying.
No, but
is it true or not? It's here. I can pull it for you.
Well, that's fine.
They changed it and gave it. I mentioned the company's name if you push me.
Randy, let me say something.
They formed the company in 2017.
And there is an existing problem.
Immediately they formed the company. They decided that Car Power and GMPC should buy the fuel.
As a bookman,
these companies should supply the fuel.
As a bookman,
and they were the number one. They were paying always.
Randy, as a
they
bookman,
were always paying them.
Randy,
for the fuel.
Bookman, I'm not
to the detriment of the others.
Let me say this, Randy.
Look at them.
And let's educate your viewers. Let's educate your viewers.
Go. Yes.
From what your guy asked, the difference between government buying the fuel and you saying that the indebtedness at the Ministry of Finance now.
Yes.
If Car Power themselves, because now this extra gas and all these things that you need to put some level of guarantees and all those things to do that. Because it's government of Ghana of taking gas to supply to the IPPs, who puts up the guarantee? Government.
Yes.
If the private sector is the one buying his own gas, who puts up the guarantee? The private sector.
The cost
so that's
of
the
putting
difference.
Up a guarantee becomes higher.
But the point is that I agree. So that's
can't
the problem.
You realize that?
So
you see, we are looking at
my question to you is that, my question to you is that when ECG is unable to pay its bills,
what happens?
ECG is unable to pay its bills. Will these companies continue
to buy fuel?
Yes. So let me explain it this way. You know, there's tier 1, tier 2.
Yes.
Tier 1 is the IPPs.
Yes.
And now they've elevated WACO to tier 1. Tier 2 is the SOEs, the state-owned enterprises, which constitute GMPC.
You see what they've done?
GMPC.
I'll give you some insight.
GMPC, the category B, right? GMPC and all the Ghana Gas and all that. The reason these category B companies are old, because ECG decides, and that's one of the problems with PRC, where PRC is saying that 440 million was supposed to have been paid to the category B companies from August to a certain time, and it wasn't paid. So they should pay.
Only much was paid.
Yes, so it should be paid. You avoid that problem of arbitral decisions from ECG because whatever money comes into the pot, if you bill me, let's say 50 cedis, the 50 cedis includes your fuel. So I pay you, the tier 1 customer, 50 cedis. I don't have to go and pay tier 1 34 cedis and go and look for 14 cedis to go and pay a tier 2.
You know why it won't work?
Let me tell you, my brother. You stick to your. I'm telling you that there's a problem.
You've tried it.
Hold on, there's a problem.
We're in a mess because of this.
Hold on, there's a problem.
We're in a mess because of this idea.
It needs to be solved. And those solutions is what you asked me a question. And because you don't want to take notes, maybe you're doing mental notes. When you go, you write it down.
No,
but me, I don't have a problem telling you my solutions. But those are the solutions. We think that the solution going forward is to allow the IPPs, and they have advocated for it, right? That they should be allowed. And in that case, government comes out of this whole issue of having to bring out money to buy fuel.
Randy, first of all, even without fuel, just the energy charge, you are unable to pay. Is it true or not? Just the energy charge.
Because you see, ECG, the problem is the collection.
You don't want me.
We keep laboring.
Don't worry, I'm coming there. So even without fuel, you are unable to pay. So the current state, if they add fuel, would it not compound the situation? And he just said, the problem is ECG. So the problem is ECG and the collection, and not who buys fuel.
So my brother,
if you think that the solution,
no,
Car Power should rather go and buy fuel.
Let me qualify what I said.
Big problem.
Let me qualify what I said.
You have a huge
one of
problem.
The solutions.
But
I did not bring my iPad or my laptop to open and show you and show off.
Because look, this debate, it won't.
It won't. But because the point is, there's a clear difference. The viewers know the clear difference between me and you.
The bottom line.
Are forward looking. You are looking at the back where you still live.
No problem.
No, it's true.
I wouldn't argue.
So it tells you that the bottom line solution is better, and we are going to implement it when we come to power next year.
I expect that the head of the economic management team, Dr. Baumia, he he is the head of and the energy sector is an integral part of the economy, he should demonstrate leadership. He should show that the current challenge, he can do something about that. That is what will give Ghanaians the confidence to decide that he should do something. If he has any solution to the energy sector, this is the time to show leadership and demonstrate commitment. You cannot tell me that Dr. Bawumia has the solution to the energy sector, but Ghanaians should endure doing so till December. And that if they want a solution, they should vote for Bawumia.
No,
when he is the head of the economic management
that's not what I'm saying.
That is not leadership. And Ghanaians
that's not what I'm saying.
This is the chairman of the Energy Manifesto, and he says they have the solutions.
Yes.
If you have the solutions, implement them now. Oh. If he's implementing and the president is refusing, tell us.
No.
Dishonesty.
Stop that.
No, Randy, the level of dishonesty. Just recently, when the president came to address Parliament, he touted and boldly said that the power supply has been very stable and that he should be commended for that.
John,
when that day,
John,
there was load shedding that very day.
John, let's move on from the campaign. Let's move on from the campaign.
Government,
Randy, you charge them for the campaign? You should be charging them for this campaign.
But you started and said Dr. Bawumia is forward thinking.
Let's move on.
Is that nobody spoke about that?
No, please.
You said Dr. Bawumia is forward thinking. That one you don't want them to charge you. You said that I even belong to the past. I didn't argue. I said the man who belongs to the future should find solutions to the current problems. He cannot.
Which will be resolved. Which will be resolved soon.
It's one thing running your mouth. That one you can do that and come and stand there. Move vesti animame. Move vesti animame. I'm vesti animame. I'm going to go to ditch mu. Vesti animame with this abysmal performance. Vesti animame.
John. In the coming, and it will be resolved soon.
Fuel.
See,
if you get the fuel, the problem will be resolved.
That's fine.
But
and
please,
you're advocating for
anything on credit.
You are advocating
President Mohammed's presidency.
You are advocating for increment, buying expensive fuel, and advocating for the increasement of tariffs.
Randy, where from this one?
But you said it that you advocate that.
Have I said that here? Please don't do that.
Okay.
This is a live program.
So the comms director of the NDC has sent me this. It says that as a press release for immediate release, 23rd of April 2024, NDC to officially outdoor running made tomorrow. And it reads, the National Democratic Congress wishes to remind the general public that a ceremony will be held tomorrow, 24th of April 2024, to officially outdoor its running mate for the upcoming general elections, Professor Jane Nano Pukwajiman. The event will take place at the Kofi Ohene Kunedu Auditorium at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA. All invited guests and attendees are required to be seated by 4 p.m. prompt. The media and general public are respectfully entreated to note the following pieces of information for compliance. 1. Specific entry gates and sitting areas have been designated for various invitees to the event. 2. An invitation card admits only one and must be carried along by an invitee to be admitted to the ground floor of the venue. 3. Party faithfuls and the general public are cordially invited to the event. A specific entry gate and limited seats have been designated for party faithfuls and members of the general public on a first-come, first-served basis. 4. Only accredited cameramen from accredited media stations shall be given access to camera stands on the ground floor of the venue. 5. Reporters and other crew members of accredited media stations shall be given access to a designated media zone for interviews and general coverage. 6. A live satellite feed for the event shall be available on the outdoor broadcast channel on Multi-TV HD Plus by 4 p.m. prompt. 7. For emphasis, all attendees to the event must be seated by 4 p.m. A number of activities have been slated from 4 p.m. before the official start of the main program at 5 p.m. 8. All media houses who intend to deploy reporters to cover the event are entreated to contact the National Communications Bureau of the NDC for necessary accreditation. And it's signed Sami Jemfi Esquire, National Communications Officer. So that's it.
I can get you one ticket to admit you.
You know the funny thing? It's not only you trying to bring me into your NDC event. So, you know, when I enter Kumasi, you know what they tell me? Oh, Masa, the Jadia, oh, you know, now they are, oh, no, Chale, Kwabre Hadia, Jai, Bahama, Bama, Energy Minister.
Are you from Kwabre?
Yes, but that is a Mamponte.
He contested for MP.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't contest for MP, MMDC.
I thought you went for primaries.
No, MMD. I've never done that.
No, right. But you filed.
No, never. It was Untumi that said, but I've never done that.
Go ahead,
Untumi said that Poku attempted, but I've never. It was MMDC that.
Okay. So 30 years ago, I did my.
But you didn't get MMDC.
No, I was shortlisted, but I wasn't appointed.
30 years ago.
MMDC to president.
Sharp.
30 years ago, I did my national service at Advertisements. You know Advertisements?
Yes.
Yes, 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
When there was no electricity there, I did it. Then they had set up a secondary school.
Okay.
And named it after Nana Kunedo Admarons, believing that they will get. So, as a pioneer teacher.
Oh, okay. In the school.
In the school.
All right.
So that's 30 years ago. At Advertisements.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I know the Kwabre district.
My dad is the Maponte.
Very well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so you see, it's not all their youth organizer in Kwabre will call me Pato. Pato calls me and says, could you
I hope it's not my Pato here.
No, Pato in Kwabre, he's the youth organizer. You call me and say, Masa Jadia, oh, yeah, no, Namasa,
you won't do bad in an NDC government.
You guys want to corrupt me.
Anyway, but let's leave it here. There were other things we couldn't discuss. Let's see if next week we can do another one. So we can continue the discussion.
Yeah,
I wanted to deal with this man on this Amerity. The figures
next week we'll deal with
something I want to
next week
forget
Amerity. Let's forget Amerity. Let's forget Amerity.
Now recently you're quoting some figures.
We've moved on.
Next week we'll deal with it. Up next, GMG Trends.
Customer. Nada bena minka me papa. Mika 10 Ghana. 10 Ghana. 10 Ghana cedis. Na no dia, send na obenya. 10 Ghana cedis no. Me dia. Maybe 54,000 Ghana cedis. 54,000. 540 million. Here. We are the one na me ka me di you skase. Yeah. Ene na giga ade tena we. Tena wa boki. Draw no na asase no. Mami me volume. Customer. One of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi, the star boy.
Good morning. Look, how's your weekend?
A lot, quite a lot. I had a lot of activities.
Yeah.
I had a function at Accra Academy on Saturday.
Okay.
As the launch of the roadshow of the endowment fund. And I was a keynote speaker. So I spent my morning at Accra Academy. Then Sunday, Kwando.
Thing goes.
Game, Charlie. Yeah. And it rained.
Okay.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Serious one. I had quite an eventful weekend from Saturday, moving around throughout the day, and then Sunday I had a very tough job of, a rather sad one. I had a tough job of breaking the news via Metro TV portal, the passing of Koda.
Oh.
Yes. Before it went viral and everybody started talking about
90% of engagements in the last 4 years or so play his song.
There's no way you miss out Hosanna.
Yes.
That song is
about 90%
song.
of engagements.
Yeah.
Marriage ceremonies.
Yeah. I knew some of his mentees, people that he was bringing up in the music space, like Nava Music, and I was part of Nava's team on campus and outside. So
But I mean, but for peer pressure, you would have been a gospel musician. Yeah, but
no, I still do God's work. I still do God's work.
You combine it.
I still do. I still try to sing. Yeah, so that's how I got to know Koda, his impact on the young artists, the musical knowledge that he's had over the years, impacting that to a lot of people.
And that's 46.
Yeah, and there's always a distinctive thing about his sound. When you hear his sound, you know that he's from this place. He's from Takrady. There's always something in there, and he died as you mentioned.
I'm told that he even started recording songs from KNUST.
Yeah, KNUST. So that song, that song he composed it together with Calvin, someone of Joyful Way, Formula of Joyful Way. They were in tech together.
Can you sing that line again? We'll pray for you. The devil is a liar. You go back to serve God. The devil is a liar.
So yeah, a lot of people have been, pouring in their commiserations to the family. Of course, the gospel fraternity, the music space, Asoko Fikinata's post, Fred Tamers, Neil Kai, Eugene Zuta, Fred Dima, Uncle Fred. Yesterday we spoke to him on Newsbeat and all that. So yeah, the family. There's a website that the family says that's where they'll be putting all the updates and anything that we got to know about Koda's passing and any other arrangements. So we will follow through on that and definitely let you know. May you so rest in perfect peace. Came as a big surprise. But yeah, that's it. The other thing that is not surprising at all is Doomsaw. This morning I came to work with my lights off. From yesterday, I will pay no pay. Why? What have we done? CG, like, me okay. Tell me what we feel like. They do so. Give us time to wait. My. Say I'm out from Queen say. The idea chef you know about say because 2 days Doom. Oh, right then you go. So it's trending on Twitter. Doomsaw is back. It's trending on Twitter. Let's go into it. Evan says that everything had on because I used to usually kill us, but we still did. Do you have lights this morning? I didn't have lights when I was coming to work at 5 a.m. So that's my answer. You got Amam Mali says that woke up sweating because of a localized fault. What's all these? I can't even have a good sleep. Okay, this one says the current government has become worse of everything it spoke about. Hashtag Doomsaw is back. Doomsaw must stop. That's from Don Giddy. Joseph says that today Ghanaians are made to know that the 12-hour light they enjoy in a 24-hour is a privilege. Okay, yeah. Now if you have light, it's a privilege. I mean, how did we get here? So I was going last night. I was on my street. We had a light out. And the light came. The way everybody shouted, yeah, light up. I was like, is this where we have gotten to right now? It's like we are playing football in the square goal. We are jubilating because the lights are back. I mean, how? Give us a timetable to our boy. People are saying that very soon we will hit the streets for Doomsaw a protest because we are tired. No, Obin Kwaya say. Obin Kwaya say. In Kruma Kwaya go to
I have lost gadgets.
Wow, see. Let's watch Akwana and Kwaya say.
Every sad so saving queen, so saving queen. I'm a me, baby, who are reading. So I'm a me, baby, who are.
Danyamia say, Enyan say organ.
I say organ accommodation.
But still, I so careful. Open UPS in my organ, and yes, I ever blue.
Ever blue, Charlie.
This is a born in same tunyum. I don't watch them.
Why lucky? Someone likes more the ball, Garo. See, please. Now I don't know how we'll do it. Maybe now we shouldn't keep the soup in our fridges again because I have stews in my fridge. And when I'm leaving home, I'm thinking about it. At the ABC,
well, find charcoal and drop it in the soup. That's our grandmother.
True. Back there, there's a coconut.
Look for charcoal and put it in the soup.
No. My dog is worried. It's really worried.
It's just disrespectful, you know. Yeah. How we can be disrespected in this manner, you know, the lies. How we can just be disrespected in this manner. I mean, nobody respects anybody.
People's livelihoods. I mean, thinking we've been doing some series on how people have been affected by this. Looking at, she said, "Tell her for the other time, forget it." We
have a problem. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the least you can do is to help people to plan their lives. That's all. I mean, how difficult is this?
Let's have a timetable.
Yes.
So that you know that, okay,
and
from
then
this time to this time.
You find that solution that you're thinking about. But until you find that solution,
help us out.
Just respect people a little bit.
Meanwhile, two days. It's difficult. So
sometimes even the erratic nature of it.
So Doc, this is how it is. So it goes off the whole day, comes back around 7 p.m. May come video 7 p.m. And then like in 30 minutes it goes off. Then it comes back and it's like 10 minutes. Then it goes off. Till this morning that I am here. Why? I don't mind the panda from
And for those who are also using generators, look at the price of diesel now. Yes, look at the price of diesel now.
Maybe I do it. Cool. Every corner block. Anyway, so that has been tried on social media, and just sharing that with you this morning. For me, in a few, Doc, it's a protest members of party. We're quite online meeting them.
We'll all join.
We have to. We have to. ECG.
We'll all join. The disrespect is just not.
It's just too much. Olive Flavor from Tamale says, "My hood. We have 4 days. We had 4 days light out non-stop. Oh, he's now in Wager White Cross. 4 days light out. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So there's a professor at the University of Ghana.
Okay.
He's a professor in geography. And has done exceptionally well. He's won a top award in the United States. And this was carried by yesterday's edition of the Today newspaper. Okay. It's Professor Martin Otin Abebio. Professor Martin Abebio. Yes. And he's a geographer. So he's a professor of geography at the University of Ghana, Legon. And Today newspaper carried a story. It says, Ghanaian professor breaks boundaries, becomes first African to win the 2024 Kojo Kunedu Ajima Distinguished Scholar in African Geography Award.
Okay.
And this was in the United States. So that's him.
That's a big one.
Yes. Big one.
Big one. People like academia. Prof.
Yes.
Professor Otin.
Yeah. Professor Martin Otin Abebio. University of Ghana.
Yeah, big man. From Alco University. No, University of
You wish you were a UCC.
I wish it was UCC.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I'm sure that there are UCC professors.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, of course. A lot of them.
Right.
And so, yeah, those of us who try to. Professor Bedium.
Why?
Professor. Difficult.
Why? You just have to apply yourself and learn. You young people, you like shortcuts too much. Anyway.
Hey, you know me.
Politicians natural. Anyway, all right. So let's leave it here.
Yes. We'll find out the last one as well. I hear some members of Alan's team have moved back to the MVP.
And I heard Alan's team say that the people were bribed. So they are bribing them.
Too far. Back to the elephant. That's about the dress. I know it's Destiny the Star Boy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Up next, Metro Sports.
Every sad you so say me quite.
Join me every week as we embark on a flavor-filled adventure with special guests from different African countries.
Today I'm bringing the taste of Egypt to your kitchen.
Without the garlic, we cannot.
No, nobody can eat this one.